The scene opens with an ear-splitting argument erupting from inside a boarding house. A beautiful woman sobs and hurls accusations at a young man, the male lead, Tianxian, shouting fiercely, "Tianxian, you scumbag. Huang Huang is your daughter. How could you pawn her off to pay debts? I'll work extra jobs to cover the money you owe for Hui." Only the man's back is visible as he walks away carrying the child, paying no heed to her cries for her mother. Tianxian sneers. "The little money you make isn't even enough for me to place a few bets. Do you even know what kind of person Huki is?" Suddenly he grabs her hair and bellows, "If we don't settle the debt by tomorrow, we'll be torn to pieces and sold off." "Get out, you bitch," he shouts, slapping his wife across the face as the child struggles and wails, "Mommy, mommy." The woman staggers, momentarily stunned, and pleads, "Give me back my daughter." Driven by a fierce need to protect her child, she lunges into a desperate struggle. "You monster, give me back my daughter," she screams. After a brief scuffle, she slams her forehead into his in a forceful headbutt. At that moment, the male lead steps on a beer bottle and, in a sudden, unforeseen twist, the young man's head smashes hard against the floor, and the room falls into an eerie silence. The woman glances over and sees her despicable husband lying there, motionless and seemingly lifeless. The little girl cries out loudly, "Waka mommy, Huang Huang, Huang Huang is so scared." The mother tries to soothe her, "Huang Huang, don't cry, mommy's here, it's okay, it's okay." Just then, a gang of thugs burst through the door, shouting, "Deadbeat, time to pay up, get out here." The leader pauses, puzzled, as he looks down at the debtor already sprawled on his back. What new trick is this deadbeat playing? Feigning death? Even if you're dead, you still owe. The boss, his eyes leering like a wanton goat, addresses Tianxian's wife. "Girl, right?" she screams. "Get out of here, all of you. Get out, you filthy thugs." Her shout reverberates through the boarding house and draws neighbors to investigate. The leader snarls, "What are you gawking at? This isn't thugs causing trouble, it's lawful debt collection." An old man protests, "Seizing children to collect debts, is there no law left?" He sneers back, "Old man, you planning to defend them? Mind your own business, otherwise I'll station my boys to block this house and extort payment." Frightened, the crowd disperses. "For God's sake, my soup's boiling at home. Scatter, go see Auntie Hong," someone mutters as people flee. "Girl, move on," the leader orders. Unwilling to surrender, she grabs a knife, waving it wildly and shouting, "Don't any of you come closer. If anyone dares, I'll fight to the death." The thugs burst into derisive laughter. "Haha, look at you trying to frighten us. When I was practicing with knives, you weren't even born," one of them boasts. One thug steps forward and seizes her wrist. "Let me show you how to handle a knife," he says. He swings to slash while his underlings watch with wide eyes. "Boss, your knife skills are something else," one of them comments. His gaze practically undresses the pretty woman standing there. She can only tremble, clutching her shirt to keep it closed. He smirks. That leech Yachin sure knows how to sweet-talk women." But he yelps when he feels a sudden, sharp pain. The daughter bit him to protect her mother. He curses. "Damn it, get this brat away. Huntsy said not to hurt her." A lackey scoops up the little girl as she cries for her mother. The mother can only plead helplessly. "Huang Huang, please spare her. Just spare my daughter. I'll do anything. She's only a child." He chuckles. "Haha, you think you can bargain with me? I'm taking everything. You better serve me well." She bursts into sobs and curses them. "You animals doing such wicked things. Aren't you afraid of divine retribution?" "Haha, retribution," he scoffs. "Tell the heavens to intervene. I'll violate you first. Even the skies can't stop me." No sooner has he finished than a strange celestial omen appears. A bolt of lightning rends the sky, pierces the roof, and strikes Tianxian dead center. Everyone panics and freezes, their faces paling as they stand rooted to the spot. The girl cries out in surprise, Tianxian, and the boss looks bewildered. Did this guy just come back from the clutches of death? The leader wonders coldly as he sizes the man up. He notes, "This body is nearly exhausted from blood loss and in critical condition. We must handle this immediately." He says, "I'll give you one chance. Put the child down and take your men and leave at once." "Scram," the leader snaps. "Didn't you hear me?" Everyone is stunned that this man dares to speak so boldly. Then a ripple of scoffing laughter spreads through the group. "Ha! Have you lost your mind after brushing so close to death? What makes you think you have the right to use the word scram?" the boss mocked. "I'll deal with you first," he snarled, lunging forward with a knife. But the male lead moved calmly, reaching out to seize control of him in one smooth motion. Then Tianxian's hidden potential erupted. His pupils began to glow with a fierce golden light. A surge of raw energy coursed through his veins. His muscles expanded rapidly, becoming tense and powerful. With a single strike, he shattered the boss's arm, making him let out a piercing scream. Everyone nearby froze in shock, jaws dropping to the floor. The ringleader bellowed, "You dare, haven't you already died once? You dare lay a hand on me again? Try it, I dare you." "You can fight anyone else," Tianxian warned, "but if you challenge me, expect a fist straight to your face." The thug's face got pummeled so hard it ballooned instantly as he was sent flying backward. "Boss, he actually hit you," one of the underlings cried out in disbelief. "Brothers, get him," the boss shouted, clutching his arm. But the young man's expression darkened. Oops. With just one shout, when he turned around, the lackeys had already scattered like rats. "Damn it," the boss cursed. No one has any loyalty these days. So much for brotherhood in this world, he muttered bitterly. You go deal with him, and I'll promote you, he barked at another goon. But the moment he said it, that same youth bolted. Boss, I'll go call Brother Hussey to avenge you. Ugh, damn it, the boss groaned, and I just praised him a second ago. While he sat there stunned, a large shadow loomed closer. Li Yi broke into a cold sweat. Terrified, staring into those eyes filled with murderous intent, the youth stammered, holy crap, Tianxian. No, Brother Chen. Do you even understand what it means to cross Brother Hussey? Inshin's reply came cold and sharp, just one line. The youth straightened up instantly, trembling as he replied, Why, yes, sir. Just you wait, and don't you dare run. Inside the dim room, looking at Tianshan's back before them, the two women exchanged uneasy glances. The wife finally spoke up, Tianshan. The two shared a look but said nothing more. He clutched her daughter tightly and whispered, I'm sorry, Huang Huang, Mommy made you suffer. Tianxian's voice came steady and low. Pack up your things and go. Quickly, if you wait too long, they'll come back. The two looked at him with teary eyes, and he met their gaze with quiet tenderness. What about you? She asked softly. Cold youth, what will you do? I'll handle it, he replied. But suddenly, the bleeding worsened. Tianshan dropped to his knees, clutching his head in pain. Damn it, he muttered. The body's overtrained, divine sense is forcing the wound shut, but it's breaking down. Seeing him cough up blood, she panicked. Tianshan, what's wrong? Don't scare me, she cried. He gasped. Please, help me. Are you hurt? She asked frantically. Yes, he groaned. We don't even have money for a hospital. Wait, I'll borrow some from the neighbors. But he caught her wrist firmly. No need for that, just follow my instructions. Then, to her shock, he suddenly pulled her into his arms. Mommy, what are you and Daddy doing? Little Huang Huang asked innocently. Mommy and Daddy are playing a family game, she stammered. Huang Huang wants to play too. The little girl ran over, but her mother quickly raised her hand to stop her. Huang Huang, it's bedtime now. Go to sleep, okay? Mommy and Daddy will play with you tomorrow, she added gently. The little girl pouted but nodded. Do I need to cover my head? She asked adorably. Seeing how sweet and obedient she was, her mother blushed. Just sleep, okay? Don't get up unless Mommy calls you. All right, the girl said. I'm gonna hit the hay. Then Tianshan murmured, let's begin. She didn't resist, and he immediately took the lead. The ultimate technique, stimulation of the love acupoint and the kidney acupoint, making her body tremble uncontrollably. What time is it already and you still doing this? She gasped. Brother Shen leaned in for a kiss, and in that moment she couldn't help but wonder, why does he suddenly feel like a completely different person? Oh well, never mind. If he hadn't driven off those thugs, this family would truly have been torn apart. He intoned an incantation, the precious medicine healing method from the Divine Foot Scripture, the way of yin-yang harmonization. True yang drives out yin essence. Moving essence brings forth miraculous medicine to form flesh and blood, mend shattered bones, and reverse the brink of life and death. Thus the two of them cultivated their bond together, and Tianshan's wounds gradually began to mend. Scene change. A youth called Hussey was furiously punching a sandbag. Then suddenly, splurt, blood spurted out. He snarled that using people as sandbags felt far more satisfying, while the youth trapped inside begged for mercy. Brother Hussey, you promised you'd vent your anger on me and spare my wife and kids. You must keep your word. HMPH. I'm a man of renown. I always follow through. No need to embellish. Yet this fury of mine remains unsated. In that case, I'll send your wife and children to northern Myanmar to have their kidneys harvested. He spat a curse. You scoundrel, you do nothing but wicked deeds. Retribution will find you. Suddenly, a few of his lackeys rushed over, calling out anxiously, Brother Hussey, we couldn't bring the person back. He glared at them and snapped, You lot, you didn't just join my crew yesterday. Before you left, I warned you countless times that the girl is someone the big shot behind me specifically wants. Absolutely no mistakes allowed. He then punched the sandbag so hard it tore, and the person inside was beaten beyond recognition. So the underlings were terrified. You're a bunch of useless trash, he sneered. You can't even handle a worthless broke. That Anhui, aligned with Tianxian, we thought he was dead for sure, who expected him to return stronger than ever. We were no match. Our boss even had his arm broken by him. He said, surprised, and stepped closer to ask, How did that man break your arm? First, it was like this, right? He demonstrated. Then it went like this, right? And with that, he crushed what remained of the man's arm. The youth screamed pitifully. Bad luck. Both arms crippled in a single night. Lucky ordered, I don't keep useless people in my crew. Drag him away. The man being hauled off pleaded, Brother Hussey, spare me. Give me another chance. The rest of you, grab your weapons and come with me to capture that man. Got it, big bro, they answered. The next morning at the rented room, the wife panted from exhaustion after a harrowing night. The two of them held hands and leaned their heads together in a quiet, affectionate gesture. He spoke softly, Thank you for saving my life. She also realized he was different from before. He had never shown such gentleness, nor made her body feel this strange. And you, who are you? She asked. The male lead replied, I am an immortal from the upper realm, cast down to the mortal world by a tribulation. When I entered this body, I immediately recovered the memories of its owner, named Shang Tianshan, a mortal incarnation I concealed within the human world. Just as his body lay gravely wounded and his soul scattered, I entered it. Hearing him, she cried in surprise, You're saying you're an immortal? Huang Huang then jumped up and asked, Mommy, are you and Daddy finished playing your game? Can I learn now? Huang Huang is so hungry. Okay, teach me quickly. Mom's going to cook, she answered. It'll take a bit. Please be patient. Meng heard her stomach grumble and the two siblings blushed with embarrassment. Do immortals need to eat too? She stammered. Sorry for asking something rude. All right then, just sit here. I'll prepare a portion for you as well. She went into the kitchen to heat a pot of water, planning to make some noodles. Huang Huang squealed, Ooh, fancy noodles today? Can I have an extra egg? Sure, here's an extra egg for you, she replied. Looking at his new little family, he reflected, Since youth, I rigorously cultivated the emotionless Tao. I severed attachments, renounced love, and sought the great attainment after 10,000 years. My heart was supposed to be like still water, so why does this sudden warmth arise? Is this the feeling of family? He found himself smiling contentedly all of a sudden. Suddenly, crash. A blow smashed through the door of the trio's rented room. A thunderous roar followed. It was Scabby Hussy and a few close lackeys. Seeing them, the little girl was terrified and accidentally dropped the bowl of noodles. Yenshin moved with lightning speed and caught it. Not a single noodle or drop of broth was lost. He asked, Who are you? And she stammered, He is Brother Hum. Mommy, Huang Huang is so scared, the child wailed. He reassured them both. Don't be afraid. I've recovered now. No one can harm you. Scabby Hucky strode forward and snarled, You broke her under my command, Jing Zishen, right? But was ignored as Tianxian slurped his noodles and said, That's right, now get lost and I might spare you. Before Hucky could finish, he was stunned by a punch and realized he had the wrong target, only to see bam. With a single blow, Tianxian was sent flying. He skidded across the floor for quite a distance. Side characters die from talking too much. You think you can blab in front of your master? Someone taunted. The mother and daughter shouted in terror, Husband, father, dad. You can't even clean up this mess. You're an embarrassment, one thug sneered. Take them away, boss. As for the older one, do whatever you want with him. Just make sure to bury them afterward. Haha, thanks Brother Huzzy for the reward, another jeered. This little punk is eyeing the beauties, one added. The two screamed again in fear. Husband, father. That punk received a fist to the face and bit his tongue. Tienshin kicked him out the door. Ashen, you're here, someone observed. Lao Zhuo snorted coldly. The kid's skill surprised him, and Tianshan thought his strength is unreal, not like an ordinary human. He radiates an unusual aura. Huizhou's cigarette fell from his mouth. Tianshan's expression shifted in shock. He charged forward with astonishing speed and threw a punch, admitting, I underestimated you. But Tianshan quickly evaded the blow. Another strike was instead aimed at the mother and daughter, so he blocked the powerful punch with his own hand. Crap, my arm bones, one thug cursed, wincing. Huggy Juo smirked. Haha, I think I heard something crack. A human punching bag is the best training tool, he declared. He then unleashed a rapid barrage of blows. Haha, awesome. You can take 80% of my punches. Don't you dare kick the bucket before I reach my limit. Yenxian thought, this man's strikes are fast, precise, and extremely powerful. How long can my frail body endure? Right, I nearly forgot I have another technique I can use without inner energy. He touched his forehead and realized it didn't require an especially strong body either. Yang Xian immediately entered the Dao Luo Tianxian Nian, the divine court martial art. He used divine thought to create a mental space in his mind where a single moment could stretch into 10 years, allowing him to face enemies and simulate martial practice at super speed. Outside, Hui Chuo was still reveling in his new human punching bag, bragging, Yo, check out that family move. Are you planning some teleportation trick? Someone jeered as a punch came, but Tianxian remained unmoved. 10 years of martial training in an instant, mastering fist techniques and the transformation of power, he could readily borrow force to deflect force. Hui Chuo was bewildered, not understanding what had happened. 20 years of practice condensed, combining transformation and striking. Xie Ming dodged, twisted his hips, and delivered a spinning elbow that made Hui Chuo spit curses. You bastard, I'll cripple you completely, Hui Chuo vowed. He launched a kick, but Tianshan intercepted by striking directly into his shin, locking the attack. 30 years of practice. The master's realm of fist techniques was achieved, his control akin to an overlord's decree. One strike sent Hui Chuo flying, blood dripping from his mouth. The lackeys were stunned, crying out, Brother Hussy, he's stunned, as they pointed at Tianshan. All of you charge, kill him for me, Hussy shouted. The lackeys rushed forward with weapons raised, surging with momentum. 50 years of martial practice. Fully comprehending the martial path and reaching the true martial realm. Within mere seconds, his mastery over the fist technique soars to an entirely new level. With a flurry of lightning-fast punches, every thug in sight is sent flying, leaving Hui Chuo trembling in terror. What do you want? Do you even know who's backing? He stammers, but his words are cut short. Forcing open the heavenly eye, a third eye emerges on Tianxian's forehead. Hui Chuo, still trying to sound brave, continues hurling threats. That's someone you wouldn't dare to touch even if you had 10 lives, he shouts, trying to regain control. Yet Tianxian pays him no attention at all. Instead, he reaches out calmly and takes something from him, causing Huichuo to scream in unbearable pain. A strange red aura seeps out of his body, and Huichuo trembles as he mutters in shock. How did you know? So that's it. Enxian's gaze locks onto a coin bearing a devil's face, radiating a sinister energy. The coin suddenly trembles, trying to attack him with furious intent. But with one glance from the heavenly eye, the evil force is instantly subdued, the devil's will crushed in fear. In that instant, an overwhelming divine presence, the terrifying might of the great Luo god, appears behind Tianxian. Ahaha, how interesting, a voice echoes. So this is Fa Yin Mountain using such a pathetic substitute. The doll begins to drain Huichuo's life essence through deep resentment, forcefully pushing his strength to its very limits, though his true age remains 30. Tianxian narrows his eyes. The one behind this definitely isn't from the moral realm. Huichuo, realizing who he's facing, panics. Mr. Jing Zheno, Divine Tian, we're all just born to survive, Huichuo pleads. I don't need this person anymore, please spare my life. Enxian's tone turns icy. Take your men and get out of my sight. Why, yes, Divine Tian, we'll leave right away. Without another word, the whole group scrambles away in fear. Just then, little Huang Huang runs up to him, calling out happily, Daddy, you're so handsome. After planting a few quick kisses on his cheek, the warmth of family fills the air, and Tianxian pauses in surprise. Why does the soft touch of a mortal child's lips feel so warm, he wonders quietly. Daddy, am I handsome? He asks teasingly. The little one nods eagerly, very handsome. His wife smiles softly, joining in the moment. Hey Chen, we need to go, she says urgently. Yesterday after I healed you, I forgot about Huijia's situation. If you just let him go, won't someone even stronger come after us? Let's pack a few things quickly. Tianxian reassures her with calm confidence. Don't worry, I let him go on purpose. Why? She asks, confused. Right now, the spiritual energy in the mortal realm is far too thinned. If we rely on meditation alone, immortality will take ages. The one behind Huichuo is probably an earth immortal trapped here. If we can harness his techniques, it could greatly help our cultivation. She gasps in surprise. Us? That's right, Tianxian replies. Do you both want to cultivate immortality and ascend with me? Daddy, if we cultivate immortality, can we fly in the sky? Huang Huang asks with excitement. Of course we can, he replies with a smile. Yay, Huang Huang wants to fly with Daddy too, she cheers. So how should Huang Huang and I start cultivating? Huang Huang still has a congenital body, a pure yin physique. I'll refine an elixir for her, she just needs to drink it, he explains. Daddy, will the elixir taste good? Can you add some sugar? She asks innocently. If you want it sweet, Daddy will make it sweet for you, he answers warmly. Yay, that's awesome. As long as it's sweet, Huang Huang will drink it. She giggles. But as for us, his wife says softly, our bodies are already mature. We've lost our innate essence and indulged too much, depleting our spirit. Only dual cultivation can replenish it quickly. There's no time to waste, Tianxian says firmly. Our enemies won't wait. We start now. Blushing, she hesitates. Isn't it inappropriate to cultivate like this in broad daylight? Daddy, Mommy, you have to cultivate seriously, okay? Huang Huang says cheerfully. Huang Huang's gonna play now. Don't go too far, she adds, running off. Daddy, Mommy, will one afternoon be enough? She calls out innocently. Hearing that, both Tianxian and his wife freeze in embarrassment, unsure how to respond. Do we need to? Keep the same posture as before? She asks shyly. Of course not, he replies. In one swift motion, he lifts her up high before lowering her into a new position she doesn't quite understand. Hun, what are you doing? She gasps. Relax, just follow my lead, he says gently, helping her adjust her posture. And no, I can't. My back can't handle it, she protests. Don't worry, he assures her calmly. You'll feel better soon. Then he positions himself the same way beside her, beginning the process of dual cultivation. Yin and yang intertwine, cleansing their organs and marrow, gradually transforming their mortal bodies back to their original, pure state. As their cultivation continues, she feels her body becoming lighter, her entire being renewed. It's such a strange yet blissful sensation. A wave of warmth and comfort flows to her body from the connection between them. It feels like soaking in a hot spring, she murmurs, her face flushed. So warm, so comfortable. Let's learn how to meow together, she says playfully. Meow, meow, meow till the... Who are you trying to act cute for? He sneers, though his smirk fades as he mutters, Damn, my heart's actually racing. Suddenly, the door bursts open. Hussy, the pockmarked, barges in, panting and terrified. Young Master Xixiao. Oh, it's you. I rushed here. Did you receive the goods? She stammers in panic. Huggy the pockmarked instantly falls to his knees, kowtowing desperately. Forgive me, young master, he cries out. That girl's father has learned some kind of wicked technique. He used to be a nobody, a mere pimp, but now he's completely overpowered. I sent out a whole group of brothers, and even with our lives on the line, we couldn't beat him, he wails. Xixiao's expression darkens, and with a snap, the microphone in his hand shatters. Please, young master, spare me, Huggy pleads. Victory and defeat are common in war, Shishao says coldly. This young master rewards and punishes fairly, he hums softly. You've served me for years. Your loyalty deserves a reward. With that, he tosses a trembling hostess toward him. Take her. Enjoy yourself. Seeing the woman, Huggy's eyes light up, and he bows repeatedly in gratitude. Thank you, young master Shishao. Shishao smiles wickedly, stepping closer. Suddenly, he grabs Huggy the pockmarked by the head, his grip like iron. Huggy's face freezes in horror. His entire body trembles, unable to move. Why, young master Shishao, why? Didn't I say rewards and punishments are fair? Shishao says in a calm, almost amused tone. There's no issue if you failed to bring back the person. But you lost the magic artifact I entrusted to you. That failure deserves punishment. A surge of sinister energy gathers around his palm as he begins to draw something out. Huggy lets out guttural gasps, choking like a dying dog. Shishao absorbs the dark energy with a grimace. What trash. Looks like I'll have to do it myself. The woman trembles and stutters. Why, young master Shishao? If there's nothing else, I'll just take my leave. Leave? It's not over yet, my little princess, he says with a twisted grin. You've done quite well. He points to the spot where Huggy's body has fallen. 7 kill corpse refinement. Huggy's corpse suddenly twitches and convulses violently. His entire body withers as his life force drains away, leaving behind only a dried husk with sharp, vampiric fangs. Moments later, he lets out an unholy roar, bursting with dark energy, and rises again. His blood-red eyes lock on to the terrified hostess. With a monstrous snarl, he leaps toward her. She screams in terror. No, please don't, she cries. But with one merciless strike, she's sent into eternal silence. The undead Huggy then lunges toward another woman nearby, ready to seize her as well. Shishao laughs, giving the command, feed yourself well, then follow me to capture some new prey. Meanwhile, far away, the couple continues their dual cultivation. At that very moment, their bloodlines begin to transform. Their organs, liver, lungs, even their kidneys are being thoroughly cleansed. As their cultivation deepens, his beloved wife suddenly rises, her aura visibly different. How do you feel? He asks. She stretches gracefully, replying, I feel incredible, so light and relaxed. Even my postpartum back pain from having Huang Huang is completely gone. He smiles. Our bodies are overflowing with vitality right now. Let's continue. Continue what? Aren't we finished already? She asks with wide eyes. The enemies we face aren't ordinary, he explains seriously. We must quickly open the small heavenly cycle and reach the chi refining realm. She frowns. Wait, in dramas, chi refining takes years. How can we advance right away? Ordinary methods do take that long, he says calmly. But I've comprehended the Tao in the upper realms for tens of thousands of years. I already understand the true path. With this object and dual cultivation, we can advance overnight. Didn't you just say that thing was evil? She asks. He replies, the essence of cultivation is to generate essence, transform it into ki, and refine the spirit. There are 2 main methods, through suspended animation or by extracting and supplementing. The extraction method is often used by heretics seeking rapid advancement, he continues. Among them, the Yin Mountain sect uses possession stimulating the body forcibly and storing the extracted essence within. So yes, there is true essence inside this object. Though crude and inferior, it's still enough. In the past, even the lowest heretics could reach the peak of chi refining with a single supplement. For us, it's sufficient to pass through the chi refining stage. We must not delay, only by advancing fast can we protect Huang Huang. She nods firmly. Then let's start right away. What do I need to do? Bite the ghost card in my mouth and follow my guidance, he instructs. The 2 resume their dual cultivation with perfect synchronization. Their essence refines into ki, flowing naturally into the dantian. Yin and yang merge, water and fire nourish each other, sparking new growth as their chi impacts 3 major acupoints. Tail pass, back spine, and jade pillow, she murmurs, then blushes. But my butt feels too tight. A small, awkward sound escapes her. She accidentally lets one slip and instantly turns red. He chuckles softly. Don't be embarrassed. It means you're breaking through the 3 chi acupoints. Pain and discomfort are natural. Just go with the flow. The 2 continue, their combined energy intensifying. So this method can really break through all 3 acupoints quickly? She asks. I'll help you do it, he assures her gently. She opens her eyes, feeling the energy surging through her body. A warm current flows through my entire body from head to toe. Could this mean it actually worked? Is the effect of dual cultivation really this straightforward? The method itself may look simple on the surface, but in truth, achieving success is incredibly hard. During cultivation, both practitioners must place absolute trust in one another. Yet, when I first started training, everyone was selfish, always guarded, always wary. It's extremely rare to find someone you can truly trust from the bottom of your heart. Otherwise, dual cultivation could easily turn into dual slaughter, each trying to drain the other instead of growing together. She turned toward him and asked softly, So, you just descended to earth and trusted me right away. He smiled gently. All my memories of you are still preserved in my sea of consciousness. My incarnation once caused you pain, but to me, you've always been a priceless treasure. She froze, visibly touched by his words. All right then, she said quietly. Now it's your turn to help me break through. Outside, little Huang Huang was happily playing in the sand when a silent footstep appeared nearby. It was me, Huichuo, the mischievous little girl plotting some trouble. Meanwhile, inside, the two were still focused on their cultivation. Suddenly, Tianxian's spiritual sense flared up. Wait, someone's here. She tensed immediately. Huang Huang's still outside, she cried out in panic. He wrapped his arms around her. Don't move. Stay focused and help me complete the breakthrough. Leave everything else to me. The next moment, he pushed off the ground and dashed away. Out there, little Huang Huang froze as she recognized that bald man. She screamed in fear. Mommy, Daddy, she cried, just as a raging dragon kick sent Huichuo flying. Tianxian and his wife appeared in a flash. Daddy, there's a monster. Huang Huang's super scared. Don't be afraid. Stand behind me and cover your eyes. Daddy's got you. Meanwhile, Huichuo's energy was surging uncontrollably. Only then did he realize this wasn't even human. It was a corpse puppet. But before he could react, the one behind him lunged forward, attacking the pair without hesitation. Pouring out his full strength, Tianxian struck directly at its vital point. But the creature didn't even flinch. That's the problem with corpse puppets. They don't feel pain, and they don't fear death. They fight with a pure death or glory mindset. The puppet grabbed Tianxian's wrist, its other hand ready to deliver the finishing blow. She shouted just in time, "Watch out, Brother Tian." His Jadefall acupoint burst open, power surging through him as he seized Huichuo in a tight grip. Heavenly Cycle activate. Qi Condensation Realm. Orthodox Profound Gate Technique. True Yang Shattering Strike. With a single palm thrust, the corpse puppet's entire body cracked apart, releasing a blood-curdling scream. Then it dropped to the ground in an instant. Are you all right? She asked, breathing heavily. I'm fine, he replied. Mommy, Daddy, are the monsters gone? Little Huang Huang piped up. They both smiled. Yeah, we won. She squinted, suddenly realizing, wait, isn't that Brother Huey? What happened to him? Tianxian's expression darkened. Someone turned him into a corpse puppet. She gasped. You mean, like a zombie from TV? He shook his head. Real zombies aren't that easy to create. This is just a puppet, a human soul refined into a vessel for control. Then, suddenly, a slow clap echoed across the area. From the distance, Shishao appeared, laughing. Impressive. You actually managed to destroy this young master's animated corpse. So, you're from the Xuan Mammon as well? No wonder you crushed that feral dog earlier. You've got real skill. Tianxian's tone turned firm. You two go inside. It's dangerous here. She hurriedly pulled Huang Huang close. Be careful, dear. The mother and daughter ran toward the house, and Shishao's eyes widened in disbelief. His gaze swept over Tianxian's wife from head to toe. Damn, he muttered. She's stunning. He smirked. Didn't expect a weak cultivator like you to have such a top-grade cultivation furnace. What a heavenly gift. In a flash, Tianxian vanished and reappeared right in front of Shishao. Shishao's smirk froze as Tianxian unleashed his full-powered mountain fist at Grandmaster level, but Shishao only sneered. His sword strike came slicing out of nowhere. Tianxian quickly leapt back, widening the distance. Then, a corpse ghoul charged straight toward them, releasing waves of chilling yin energy. Yet our hero didn't even flinch. Instantly readying a counterattack barehanded, he tilted his body just slightly enough to dodge Shishao's sword strike before the man could even react. With one hand he seized the sword's hilt, and with the other he threw a powerful punch. Single palm strike sent the corpse ghoul flying, along with the Yin Mountain soldier that stood beside it. What else do you have? Shishao burst out laughing. Ha! You had to go all out just to take down that animated corpse I made on a whim, and now you're up against a mere Yin soldier. And yet you still dare to think you can compete with me? You truly don't know your place. He sneered. This young master's been short of a loyal dog lately. If you obediently hand over your woman and daughter, and then kneel down to lick my boots clean, he added, summoning a swarm of corpse ghouls at the Qi condensation completion stage, proudly pointing toward Tianxian. I'll even give you a chance to be my dog. With that, the entire horde of corpse ghouls lunged forward, attacking from all sides. But Tianxian only revealed a faint, icy smile. Suddenly, every attack froze midair, as though time itself had stopped. On the other side, Shishao was being strangled, his neck gripped by a single hand, his face turning purple. He looked over in utter disbelief. The one choking him was, Huichuo? How was that even possible? You walked the path of pure yang energy, Tianxian said calmly. So why are you dabbling in corpse cultivation, and how can your puppet be this strong? He stepped closer, explaining, This is the true orthodox way of using animated corpses. It merges the yin core directly with the body, enhancing both mobility and attack strength. Suddenly, a sinister coin embedded in Huichuo's chest began radiating dense yin energy. Shishao roared in fury. You think this is enough to defeat me? You've already lost your chance to be my dog. This young master's entire body is a treasure trove, he shouted, face twisted with rage and humiliation. Without hesitation, he bit his fingertip and drew a blood mark on his glabella. Watch closely. Instantly, a strange purple sigil appeared across his forehead. His body erupted with a violent surge of power, sending Huichuo flying. Golden silkworm shell armor, he laughed smugly. So what now? You still think you can keep me down? Tian Shen watched him coldly. You've sealed your own fate this time. With the full force of his martial Dao Grandmaster potential unleashed, Tian Shen's figure blurred like lightning. In an instant, he closed the gap, driving a punch that gathered power into one precise point-striking acupoints and severing meridians in a single motion. His blows shattered Xiao's defensive barrier in an instant. Xiao's body convulsed in pain, his howls pitiful like a beaten dog. Before he could even comprehend what happened, he collapsed to the ground. You, what kind of trick is this? You dare mock me, you're dead, you hear me? Enraged, he tore open his robes, face dark with fury, muttering nonstop, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. He then yanked out a strange talisman and commanded, 9 nether yin spirits, heed my call. He began chanting frantically, summoning all kinds of yin spirits and evil souls, but nothing answered. Tian Shen blinked, utterly unimpressed. What the hell is this idiot doing? The man continued mumbling his so-called ABCXYZ great strength devil spell, voice trembling with desperation. Finally, Tianxian lost his patience and slapped him so hard his face distorted. Dharma ending age leftovers, he muttered. The longer they live, the dumber they get. Seriously casting a soul-summoning spell right in front of your opponent? That's a new level of stupid. He turned to see Huichuo had regained consciousness. Alright, time to get to work. A while later, a gentle knock sounded at the door. Inside, the mother and daughter tensed until a familiar voice said, Don't be scared, it's me. Seeing it was her husband, she opened the door and found everything already resolved. She finally exhaled in relief but froze again in horror. Hey Tian, this is… Outside stood Huichuo, dragging Xiao's limp body behind him. Little Huang Huang clung tightly to a white pillar. Huang Huang scared, the monster's back again. Tian patted her head gently. Don't worry, it's obedient now. It'll do whatever we tell it to. The little girl blinked in disbelief. Really? Try it and see, he said with a smile. Huang Huang nervously stepped forward and asked, Can you make a heart shape? Huichuo immediately tossed Xiao aside, then got ready to do exactly that. Immediately, he made a heart gesture on command, an absolute eyesore. Huang Huang, however, squealed with delight. Wow, this is so much fun. Now do a handstand too. Huizuo obeyed, flipping upside down to entertain Huang Huang, and she made him repeat it over and over, much to his misery, until Tianxian stepped in. All right, Huang Huang, come inside now, she called, then asked, Hey Chen, why are you bringing him indoors? Tian Shen explained, in this era, spiritual energy is scarce and spirit treasures are nearly extinct. These people are leftover descendants of Yin Mountain. Many of their inheritances were cut off, but they still hold accumulated essences from countless years. Gazing at him, Tian Shen guessed, it's likely this Dharma line's successor has reached the perfected Shi refinement realm. His body brims with vital essence that could quickly elevate our cultivation. Besides, he added, his whole body is a walking treasure. Perhaps we can forge powerful Dharma artifacts from him to handle other threats and protect Huang Huang. The scene remained in Tianshan and his wife's modest rented room. There, Xiao sat bound tightly to a chair. Upon waking, his first reaction was to shout, Do you know who this young master is? How dare you tie me up? He raged. You're just a rogue cultivator daring to mess with the Shai family of the Southeast Evil, he boasted, but Tianxian cut him off with a shout. Shut your trap, Tianxian ordered, then forced a filthy sock into Xiao's mouth. The rich, putrid stench, like a dead rat, almost made Xiao faint. Looking over, Xiao realized it was Huey's stinky sock. Tianxian remarked dryly, Alright, let's get started. See if he has any usable treasures on him. He immediately ripped the necklace from Xiao's neck, prompting his wife to ask, What is this seal for? Tianxian explained, This is a Dharma seal. It's used to make pacts with the 9 nether yin demons, and comes in 2 types, summoning ghosts and commanding them. Truly powerful spirits require a price to be called. But this ghost summoning seal is crude and can't control any truly fierce spirits. Hearing that, Xiao reacted with obvious displeasure and yelled, Nonsense. You clearly don't know quality when you see it. No wonder you dared attack me. This treasure has been passed down in my Shi family for generations. A ferocious ghost king once wreaked havoc in the mortal realm and has been worshipped by the Jai family for centuries. Do you not understand how fearsome my family is? Then he gulped down a searing insult. Yinxian immediately slapped him across the cheek to silence the loudmouth. In Tianxian's eyes, the Ghost King plaque was nothing but a fake. He'd already obtained the golden silkworm goo, a degraded 9-li inheritance goo worm. Next, he removed Xiao's belt. His wife stepped back, stunned, and asked, Chen, are you taking off his pants? And they obtained a spiritual artifact. It turned out to be a mesmerizing belt. In Xiao's pockets, they found a stack of Yin Mountain soldier talismans, followed by other trinkets. He retrieved a defensive magic item, the golden light inner armor, then rifled through the wallet and asked curiously, What's this? His wife replied, I've never seen this before, there's no magical fluctuation, but the craftsmanship is exquisite. It looks like a bank card, though I've never seen that color. Xiao sneered. Hey, that's a black supreme power card. Something slum dwellers like you could never dream of. It has unlimited credit. Let me go and I'll give it to you, he pleaded. Inshin replied, This ordinary money will soon have countless people fighting to bring it to us. Xiao realized his bluff wouldn't work and could only swallow his anger. The table was now littered with countless treasures, and his wife exclaimed, "No wonder he's covered in valuables." Tian Xian complained, "The quality is poor, but in this era it's better than nothing." Suddenly, Shi Xiao had a trick up his sleeve. A small bug wriggled out of his mouth, and while the two weren't paying attention, he released it. "Let's put that aside. For now, it's time to deal with the biggest treasure." "Huh? Where's the biggest treasure?" his wife asked. He pointed and said, "The essence of a peak key refinement cultivator is the greatest tonic for a cultivator. In this depleted era, for someone to reach the peak of chi refinement at his age is no small feat. He must have absorbed many people's essences." "Shi Xiao, you're terrified. What do I intend to do?" I looked at him coldly and said, "You siphoned others' essence. Now someone can take it back. Isn't that only fair?" "You bastard, how dare you mess with the Shi family? My father, my mother, the clan elders could crush you in an instant, you blind fools. Do you know how fearsome our family is?" he blustered. For that, he earned another hard slap in the face. His wife asked, "Are we going to do it like before, mouth to mouth to absorb the essence?" "I don't want to with him." Tian Xian chuckled. "There's no way I'd let him gain that benefit. Besides the room technique to restore what was lost, there's also the kill and plunder method. Experts at a certain level can directly use essence-sucking techniques to drain a target." He brightened. I know about that. I read it in Wugexia novels. Hurry up and siphon it." At first I thought that move sounded cruel, but taking it from such an evil person doesn't make me feel guilty at all. Our cultivation levels are still insufficient, so we'll use dual cultivation to achieve the same effect as the great essence-sucking technique at this level. Let's begin immediately. "Still, do we really have to use those awkward positions again?" she asked. He hugged her and replied, "Not this time. The principle behind the great essence absorbing technique is actually quite straightforward. It originates from a peculiar phenomenon that naturally occurs when two cultivators engage in battle. Their foundations and spiritual auras resonate with each other. When these two forces collide, they form an intense aura vortex, and the body's acupoints begin generating a tremendous suction force, forcibly drawing out the essence from the opponent's body. I get it now. Kinda like cupping therapy, right? Yeah, based on the intel my clone gathered about this world, that's pretty much it. Alright then, let's begin. Without hesitation, I focused directly on her lips. As our energies intertwined like two fish swimming in a circle, I activated the essence-absorbing method and began drawing power from Zhixiao's body. My beloved wife's body was brimming with a powerful, surging stream of energy. "Hold on, don't panic. Absorbing too much essence too quickly will shake your meridians. Just follow my guidance. Guide the newly absorbed essence into our respective key seas. Balance it carefully." Meanwhile, at the ancestral residence of the Jie family, a voice filled with panic suddenly echoed through the halls. "Master, something terrible has happened. Master, the young master is in danger." The old master's expression darkened immediately. "Impudence. We have guests here, and you dare barge in shouting?" A monk raised his hand calmly. "It's fine. Steward Zhang has always been a cautious man. If he's rushing in like this, then it must be something serious." "Could it be that Shi Xiao has met with misfortune?" the old master muttered under his breath. Steward Zhang replied nervously. "This, the old master," he said. "Just speak plainly," the Grand Master interrupted. Yes. The parasite of the mother-child goo worm that the young master carries has returned to its host. I immediately questioned my subordinates about the young master's whereabouts." He paused briefly, glancing at the Grand Master before continuing. "It seems the young master encountered a group of thugs who were attempting to sell a good girl. He dismissed his attendants and tried to act the hero on his own. Unfortunately, the thug turned out to be a low-level chai-refining heretic cultivator who trapped the young master instead. Right now, his condition remains unknown." The old master's fury boiled over. "Damn it, release your tracking insect immediately and lead the way." The Grand Master stepped forward and said, "Zhizhou Di is someone this old monk has watched grow since childhood. He has always been respectful, intelligent, and well-mannered. Moreover, the Xian Patriarch has done this old monk a great favor recently. I've been wondering how to repay that kindness. Allow me to personally handle this matter." "Haha, since the Grand Master himself has offered, I won't stand on ceremony. My son is in your capable hands. I'm deeply grateful. There's no time to waste. Please lead the way." Meanwhile, Xin Xiao was cursing furiously. "You bastards, what have you done? You dare destroy my cultivation foundation and steal my essence?" His face was completely drained of color, looking like an old man on the brink of death. Meanwhile, his birthwife was glowing with vitality, her body overflowing with life force. I can even hear the cheerful tunes of Huang Huang playing again in the small park nearby. As one's cultivation realm increases, the soul's perceptive power naturally grows sharper as well. Shi Shou stared in disbelief. You two, right now." Looking at the couple's combined spiritual power, it was overwhelming. They had reached the peak of the chi refining stage. "Now then, let's see what kind of prize this prey of yours can bring us," the enemy sneered. Hearing that, Shi Shou's eyes went wide, her entire body trembling and drenched in cold sweat. How do you know about that?" You dare act arrogant while using a spirit bug just for communication? And you still put on airs in front of me?" the young master mocked. "You should have embedded the 100 Suns Mother amulet among the myriad of spirit bugs to conceal your location." Zhixiao burst out laughing. "Haha, are you insane? The 1,000-Mile Sun's mother amulet is incredibly rare and hard to cultivate. Even the main family only has one mother and one son each, maybe two at best, and you're talking about using it for a swarm of bugs? Another loud smack echoed through the air. Enough. Shut up and get ready. Huh? Prepare? The next opponent is most likely at the foundation establishment stage. Even though we're both at the peak of chi refining, fighting someone at that level is like a child going up against an adult. Without an advantage, we'll lose for sure. Cultivation usually decides the outcome of a fight between realms, but the fighting method itself can shift the balance. Besides realm levels, things like magic items and tactics can completely change who wins. If both the child and the adult have weapons, the child still stands a chance. And if the child happens to wield something like a gun from this era, then the odds are 50-50. But in other words, if the child has way more weapons than the adult, victory becomes guaranteed. You're right. These magic items are great for fighting cultivators of the same level, but against a foundation establishment expert, they're practically useless. Give me a moment to modify these artifacts a bit. After some time, Steward Zhang finally arrived at the poor village. Looking up at the insect signal in the sky, he confirmed, "This is the place." The Grandmaster stepped forward. "Let this old monk take a look. Buddhist divine power technique. Heavenly eye vision, eyes of insight." With just a single glance, he saw two cultivators, a man and a woman, both at the peak of the chi refining stage, and beside them stood a strange, malevolent corpse refiner, clearly an evil cultivator. The old man's voice trembled slightly as he asked, "How is my young master, Jean?" She shouted, "He's alive, but barely. His life force is dangerously weak. It seems like someone used dark magic to forcibly drain away his cultivation." Jianxian, who had sensed the activation of the divine eye, rushed over. The old master was stunned that they had been discovered so quickly. Steward Zhang clasped his hands together and pleaded, "Please, master, save our young master." In the next instant, the monk vanished without a trace. He glided toward Ying Tian like a drifting feather. "Who are you, Ying Tian?" Strange, he thought. This man is only at the key refining stage, yet his divine sense runs so deep that I can't see through it at all. The monk bowed slightly. "This humble monk's dharma name is Bu Ming. I've come to retrieve the young master of the Jai family. Benefactor, I urge you to turn back before it's too late." Ying scoffed. "Here we go again with that Western paradise talk. Drop your blade and become a Buddha instantly, right?" "Listen," Ying continued. "I held back because you seemed reasonable, master. But your so-called young master tried to kidnap my daughter for his dark rituals and intended to kill both me and my wife to keep it quiet. I was lucky to fight back, otherwise I'd already be dead by his hand." "So tell me, master," he said coldly, "how do you plan to deal with that?" The head steward snapped, "Nonsense, you filthy heretic, twisting truth into lies. The young master's reputation is spotless and his daughter is safe. How dare you smear our family's honor? My nephew has always been a courteous and thoughtful boy," the Grandmaster added. "You, benefactor, are listening to one side's story, accusing him of practicing dark arts none of us have witnessed. Do you really think anyone will believe such a claim? Release him immediately. This humble monk follows the path of compassion. Heaven cherishes life." "If you release him now," he warned, "cripple your own cultivation and surrender every ounce of your dark energy. Then, and only then, will I spare your life." Ying scoffed again. "A confused old fool, preaching righteousness while being blind to truth. If you dare attack," he warned coldly, "I'll take him down with me." Behind Ying, the zombie puppets closed in while his peak key-refining wife held a blade to Xin Xiao's throat. Steward Zhang shouted furiously, "You worthless peasants! How dare you touch even a hair on our young master's head? His noble blood is worth more than your entire miserable lives." "Amitabha," the monk murmured. "In that case, this old monk shall reveal the wrath of Vajra, subduing demons and monsters, and capturing you all before speaking further." "Female cultivator inside, listen carefully," the Grandmaster thundered. "If you harm my nephew in the slightest, I'll wipe you and your family off the face of this earth." Tianxian's eyes widened in disbelief. As the bald monk's hand closed around his neck, Ying smirked inwardly, thinking, "The setup's complete. Just as I thought, he won't dare kill me. He wants me alive as a bargaining chip. That means the advantage is all mine." The monk said calmly, "You should already understand the vast gap between our strengths. Don't push me to act." Suddenly, a corpse demon lunged forward, swinging its blade. The monk instantly grabbed Steward Zhang and leapt aside to dodge the attack. "You can summon Yin soldiers too?" Zhang exclaimed in shock. "No," Ying corrected. "These are higher-ranked ghost generals." "Impressive," the monk admitted. "No wonder my foolish nephew fell for your trick. But a few ghost generals aren't enough to challenge this old man." At that moment, two more ghost generals materialized and charged in with a roar. The monk summoned his golden bell shield, forming a powerful barrier that blocked the attacks. The ghost strikes clashed against the shield but did no harm to the old monk. "Amitabha," he chanted, "let this humble monk send your souls to peace." Great mercy palm. Dozens of golden palm strikes burst forth, annihilating the ghost generals instantly. Ha! Just a few lowly spirits daring to challenge a mid-stage foundation establishment grandmaster. They truly don't know their place. Suddenly, a talisman streaked through the air, and the old monk's eyes went wide in alarm. He tried to block it, but something felt off the moment it made contact. A massive wave of dark energy erupted, forcing him several steps backward. From within the talisman's core, a ghastly hand shot out and clamped around his neck. What is this? He gasped. Antion chuckled darkly. The ghost generals were just a distraction to buy time for this summon. In that instant, an overwhelming presence appeared. A ghost radiating terrifying power seized the Foundation establishment monk by the throat with ease. The old monk's face turned pale as realization dawned. This is a ghost king. Isn't this the ghost king that the J family has worshipped for centuries? How could you possibly summon it? To make heaven, earth, man, gods, ghosts, and the five immortals serve me, Ying said coldly. One must bind them by their desires and bait them with their greed. This principle has never changed, not since ancient times. Yi Huang snorted at Ying Baohua's words, still confused by how the situation had turned against them. Master Bi Yuming was clearly the stronger one, so why was he defeated so easily? Bitterly, Bi Yuming realized from the start he planned everything. First, he lured me into a capture-only mindset, forcing me to hold back. Then, using the ghost generals to pressure me into exercising them, he exploited that moment to let Gi Huang strike my weak point. Without that setup, Gi Huang could have at best fought me to a draw. Every step perfectly calculated. This kid's so young, yet his schemes run terrifyingly deep. What a frightening mind. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Gi Huang thrust his hand straight into Bi Yuming's chest. He pulled out something glowing his very essence. Ha, Gi Huang laughed maniacally. Foundation establishment treasure fluid. This is pure gold. He was about to gulp it down on the spot. Don't, Tianxian commanded coldly. That belongs to me. Gi Huang's eyes narrowed in anger. He immediately released Bi Yuming's limp body. Then, in a blur, he appeared right before Ying Tian. You promised this king only one act of service, Gi Huang growled. If not for that, I would have devoured you, your wife, and your child alive for daring to harm a descendant of the Shi family. And now you dare command me to hand over my spoils? Ying Tian remained calm. I've already granted you the Xuanyin transformative Yang art. It can help you break through your bottleneck and become a mid-tier ghost king. You know well that I can offer far more than that. Gi Huang hesitated. On the Hashin continent, fewer than 100 cultivators have reached the Foundation establishment realm. With such a rare spirit essence combined with the ghost cultivation art you gave me, I'll ascend to a high-tier ghost king within a year. Tell me, what could possibly be more valuable than that? Ying Tian gently pushed Gi Huang's hand aside and said, for instance, a cultivation art that allows you to go beyond a ghost king and ascend to a ghost venerable. Gi Huang froze in disbelief. Impossible. That method's been lost for thousands of years. How could you possess it? Once I deal with these two, Ying said calmly, I'll send you the method. Judge for yourself whether it's real or fake. Ken. He turned his gaze toward the two unconscious bodies nearby. Gui Huang thought for a long moment before deciding to trust him. If your words prove false, he warned, this king will make you regret it for eternity. With that, he vanished. Ying smirked inwardly. These so-called cultivators of this decadent era, so arrogant, so naive. I'll give him the greatest ghost cultivation art, and when he emerges from seclusion, he'll already be my ghost slave. Tell your master, he said to Steward Zhang, if they want this bastard back, they'd better prepare something of equal value. At least give me a number, Zhang replied nervously, so I can report it properly. However much you think he's worth, Ying said coldly. Prepare that much. Now get out of my sight. You truly have guts, Zhang muttered. Bargaining like this, you've angered two major forces, our family in the southwest and the Lotus sect. Don't come crying when you burn yourself playing with fire. With that, the two departed. Ying ignored them and went back inside the house. His wife and children ran up to him, relief flooding their faces. Wow, Papa, what kind of treasure is this? It's so shiny and fun to play with, he laughed softly. This is Foundation Establishment essence, condensed within the Dantian of a Foundation Establishment cultivator. Shishao blurted out, no way, you actually defeated Grandmaster Bi Yuming? He's the elder of the demon-subduing hall in the Lotus sect, a mid-stage Foundation establishment cultivator. Without a word, Ying smacked him with a ki-infused palm strike to shut him up. Chi condensation realm, void palm energy. His wife blushed and asked shyly, could this be for dual cultivation? He smiled. You're getting sharper by the day, aren't you? And no, it's just, it feels really good, she stammered, face turning red. He chuckled. Relax, I'm seriously complimenting you this time. Mommy, why is your face red? Their daughter asked innocently. Be good, sweetheart. It's late, go to bed. Mommy and Daddy have to work hard to grow stronger. But Mommy, she said sleepily, is getting stronger comfortable? Her mother laughed softly. Hee hee, of course it is. That's right, Ying added. The stronger we are, the better we can protect you. No bad guys will ever bully you again. Okay, Mommy, Daddy. Daddy, go get stronger. Protect me. I'm going to sleep now. I promise I won't wet the bed. Hearing her daughter's sweet words, the wife couldn't help but sigh softly. After a short while, the two entered a dual cultivation stance. This Foundation establishment posture feels kind of weird, don't you think? She asked. he replied. This method is meant to unlock a divine ability known as the Immaculate Meridian before reaching Foundation Establishment. But we already have Foundation Establishment essence. Can't we just absorb it like before? Ascending from Ki condensation to Foundation Establishment means compressing your Qi into essence. The Qi within us is abundant, yes, but under normal conditions, we'd have to train our bodies for more than 10 years so our bones, genes, and meridians could handle the pressure of internal compression. If your physique isn't strong enough, it's like overfilling a balloon. The meridians will burst under pressure. That brat from the Yin Mountain remnant vein has already reached the peak of Qi condensation. He wants to take Huang Huang away and use the Yin Mountain method to skip body refinement, forcefully breaking into Foundation Establishment. But this time, through dual cultivation, we'll awaken the Immaculate Divine Meridian. Any physical injuries will heal instantly. Ah, I get it, she said excitedly. So even if the balloon leaks, it'll instantly repair itself. No explosion, right? Exactly, he nodded. That's why we must clear our minds completely before we begin this session. When the desire between you and me peaks, the spiritual elixir generated inside our bodies can trigger a portion of the latent immaculate divine power within us. Our bodies are remarkable in that way. Just like jade that, if left unrecognized, is only a stone, without someone to teach us, no one would know the real treasure lies inside our own flesh. He pressed a pressure point along her spine. Let's begin. She let out a quiet moan. Her whole body trembled involuntarily, leaving Tianxian stunned. He wondered, what is this sensation? His body reacted the same as hers. Unexpectedly, it even affected my Daluo Dao heart. Why does this feel so comfortable? This is my first time using this method for Foundation Establishment, and I've never felt anything like it. It's pure bliss. Girl, you're moaning non-stop. This tops our first dual cultivation session. I can't hold back. This is it. The spiritual elixir is here. Grab it fast. Seizing the opportunity, they began dual cultivation, opening the initial gate of the inscrutable divine vision, the yin-yang fusion body fruit. Once consumed, one will never regress. It restores the treasure to its original form and grants minor success in divine powers. Nearby, the young man surnamed Shi, already badly beaten, now watched with wide eyes as the two of them dual cultivated. He was bewildered. What are they doing? What is this inscrutable divine vision? I've never heard of it. The Yan Ying also noticed him observing. The unclear vision monk muttered, "This child is young and weak in cultivation, yet his scheming runs so deep. In my years subduing demons and devils, I've rarely seen such twisted intent. Hard to see through." The old man asked, "Great master, do you know which lineage he inherited?" Suddenly a woman burst through the door, shouting angrily, "Shi Baoqing, where is my precious son? What dying trash dares to kidnap my precious son?" she demanded. The old man replied, "Can't you see the great master was seriously injured trying to save your son? Don't stir up trouble here. Take it outside and talk." Outside, the sound of things being smashed accompanied her interrogation. She spat, "You damned old man, you couldn't handle a low-level rogue cultivator and let my son be humiliated? Are you really the Ghost King's family head? Useless." Shi Baoqing retorted, "What the hell are you doing? Isn't this because you always spoil him rotten?" She was left speechless, her thinking shallow, incapable of any real planning. Yet she fell for the trap of someone who cannot comprehend the immensity of heaven and earth, and even let him threaten me now. Our son carries the inheritance of both the Lu Mountain and Ghost King sects. His status is noble and his talent outstanding. If he cultivates diligently and improves day by day, nothing else matters. With the Shi and Chen families clearing his path, he will surely hold power and authority in the future. Those commoners are no better than cockroaches, not even worthy to lick his boots. How dare a bug crawling out of the trash set its sights on him? I'll go rescue my precious baby myself. You all stay put. That little brat's schemes run deep. Even great Master Bu Ming was fooled. Your cultivation isn't much better. What can you do if you go? Let me calculate and arrange things properly before you act. Wait until my son returns safely, then capture that brat, seize his soul, and refine his spirit. HMPH. If it weren't for the grand plan later, do you think this old woman, eldest daughter of the Chen family, would deign to marry you? I can't wait another moment. I'll take that thing with me and see if he can survive the next episode. Isn't that the dowry you brought when you married here? Fine. Offend the eldest daughter of Lu Mountain, and the brat's whole family will be begging for death. I'll handle Great Master Bu Ming and maintain our ties with the Lotus sect. Your son's matter is yours to resolve. HMPH, you only know how to handle social affairs, and you're still just a Foundation Establishment peak. If your G family inheritance doesn't include your son, it will be cut off in your hands sooner or later. Trash you can't break through to the golden core. He was scolded harshly but could do nothing about it. Elsewhere, a large door slowly opened before her. Creaking shutters echoed inside a pitch-black room. Suspended in the air by ceiling cords was a coffin before her. Then a bell rang, and a deep voice sounded. "Follow me." A wail rose, and the coffin lid flew open. Chen Yang smiled with satisfaction and peered inside. She saw a pair of glowing eyes ready to return to Tianxian's place. So comfortable. Did it work?" He immediately sliced with a knife, and the wound healed quickly. She exclaimed, "So magical. Is this the undying body divine power?" He replied. "This is just the basic effect of that divine power. The enemies are likely approaching soon. Let's prepare thoroughly first. Take off your clothes." She was surprised. Ah, weren't we supposed to be doing serious business? He stammered. We can only do serious business after you take them off. Hurry. She winked and said, First, block his ears and eyes. Shai Xiao cursed bitterly. You stinky woman, what kind of woman hasn't this young master played with? With that little capital, I wouldn't even bat an eye. Feeling insulted, she angrily clamped his mouth shut. He jabbed at someone and landed a strike, almost forcing that Zai fellow to bite his tongue. And you, turn the other way, only Tianxian is allowed to look. Seeing no one else nearby, she removed her tank top, revealing an incredibly seductive figure, curves in all the right places, full in every way. Genshin stared without averting his eyes, making her grow increasingly bashful. After a while, everyone went back to their own tasks. Huang, watch closely now. Wow, Daddy, is this magic? This is a basic fire manipulation technique someone at the Qi refining realm can cast. The flow of Qi through different meridians produces various energy phenomena. By lowering the temperature of the palm, it condenses the moisture inherent in the void into it can even turn into ice. Wow, Daddy, are you making popsicles? Can Huang have a bite? He fed her a piece. She bit it and exclaimed how delicious it was. Huang wants to learn that too, so she'll get more popsicles. Haha, no problem. Soon, when Dad collects enough ingredients, he'll concoct elixirs for you to cultivate. Yay, awesome, then we can make lots of yummy food. Suddenly, a strange aura rushed toward Jixiao. She cried out in surprise. Tianxian, look quickly. Haha, my mom's here. You won't use me as a hostage again. All of you are doomed. Key, catch him quick. Hussy immediately leapt, but his entire body was nearly underground. Only his smug laughter echoed. That aura then dashed outside. He recognized it as the 5 ghost transportation technique. Outside, a voice swore, You damned insects, you ruined my son's foundation. Even 1,000 cuts, 10,000 cuts, won't wipe away the hatred in my heart. Mom, don't kill them. He seems to know many miraculous and lost cultivation techniques. Capture them, soul search them, refine their souls, and turn them into ghost slaves. I will torment them for all eternity. Tianxian smiled faintly. Hey, Granny Chen spoke up. A bunch of lowly people who don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. You have just started your cultivation journey, yet you dare provoke established families like us. My son wants you to wish you were never born. This old woman has 100 methods. Each will let you taste it. A zombie then appeared. He won the title of 100-year Black Jiangxi King. She commanded from above, break their limbs, flay their skin, and pull out their tendons. She lightly shook the bell, and the Jiangxi answered the signal, exhaling a stench like rotten rats. They instantly teleported away and vanished. Tianxian's eyes widened in shock as the attack neared his chest. He kicked out swiftly, sending it flying backward, and exclaimed, So damn fast. Jinshi crossed its arms, as if readying the next move. A powerful claw strike hurled Tianxian several meters back. From that single claw he broke into a cold sweat, thinking, Thank God I cultivated the Wushuang divine art. Barely earlier I managed to survive under this black Jiangxi's claws. Xing Fupo scoffed. HMP, H thought you were some big deal making this old woman bring her dowry all the way here. Since you were a little brat, this old woman fed you so many herbs, soaked you in tonics, and strengthened you with countless top-grade supplements. How could you possibly lose to this trash? He replied, Mom, don't underestimate him. This kid's slippery as an eel. Both I and Great Master Booming fell for his tricks, plus he cultivates some divine power I've never heard of. Look, Mom, after this brat gets hurt, he recovers instantly. It's like he's hacking the game. She responded, Indeed, this isn't mere magic, but a divine art. How can a mere Qi refining stage cultivator know such a potent divine power? Mom, while he's dealing with the Black Jiangxi King, capture his wife and daughter so he won't dare act rashly. Hearing her son's devilish plan, she chuckled, Good idea, kid. He immediately flew over, intending to seize Huang and her. But Hui Chuo shot in from nowhere, planning to stop her reckless action. With just one piercing glare, Hui Chuo froze completely. She shook the bell, snorting in disdain. You dare flaunt such mediocre corpse refinement before the Lu Mountain sect? Since Tianxian's wife hadn't been officially introduced, let's call her Tianmei Ren. Tianmei snapped, Why you? Don't come any closer or you'll regret it. Shh, just an insect. If this brat weren't useful to my son, I would have crushed him long ago. Suddenly, a palm ignited with blazing inferno flames. Tianmei Ren struck out, her palm blazing like a comet, heading straight for her opponent's face. A desperate voice cried out, Mom, watch out. Tianxian, watching from the side, expected this outcome, but even so, her flaming palm didn't manage to finish off that old hag. Furious, Tianmei Ren shouted, You dare, you lowly ant, as she launched another round of palm strikes. Then came a dazzling burst of illusory light, so bright the woman had to cover her eyes. Without pause, Tianmei Ren unleashed a flurry of spells, Little Thunder Spell, Windblade, Profound Ice Heart, and even Needle Seal Acupuncture, pouring everything she had into the attack. A deafening explosion followed, Bang! Not satisfied, Tianmei Ren cast another barrage. Blazing Inferno, Thunder Spell, Wind Blade, Profound Ice, Needle Seal Acupuncture. Still dissatisfied, she struck a third time, the sheer force making Huang Huang gasp in disbelief. After taking multiple direct hits, Zhang Fupo dropped the bell and collapsed motionless. Her clothes were torn to shreds as she lost consciousness. Tianxian questioned in disbelief. How can you keep casting spells non-stop like that? Don't you need time to recover your chai? Qinshin reached forward and grabbed the ornate belt. The bell chimed once, and the stiff black corpse abruptly halted its assault. Seeing this, Xiao's face went pale, and he swallowed hard in terror. When Yin Yang started walking toward him, he fell back in panic. Hey, big bro, not the face. I still gotta, make a living. As he wished, Tianmei Ren punched him so hard his head nearly spun. Sometime later, both mother and son were tied tightly to chairs. They woke up groggy and dazed. Huang Huang, standing guard nearby, exclaimed in surprise, "Mommy, Daddy?" The ugly old lady and the ugly uncle are awake. The old woman screeched, "You insolent brat, what did you just call me?" Xiao snapped, "Mom, shut up." But the old woman snarled, "Huh? What did you say? You dare tell me to shut up?" Before she could finish, a slap landed so hard her dentures nearly flew out. Her son froze, remembering that exact slap from before and how horrifying she looked afterward. Foam bubbled at her mouth, and she fainted again. Inmei asked curiously, "Was that the wave void palm? Is it really that easy to master?" Normally, it takes more than 10 years to learn, and the body strain is immense. But since our physiques have reached the peak of chi refining, we're far stronger than normal people. Plus, with the boundless divinity unlocked, we can just wave our hands and send the air flying. Once we reach a higher realm, a casual wave could stir up the wind and clouds themselves. The wind might even sharpen in the blade, slicing across 10 meters in an instant. Who are you people?" the captive stammered. Tianxian grabbed her wrist and began channeling chi. She closed her eyes, focusing, her body soon wrapped in searing flames. This is a flesh tattoo talisman. Impossible. Even the best Cinnabar Vermilion ink couldn't produce such terrifying power. Foundation Establishment treasure liquid, that's the finest material for talisman crafting. Don't you people know that? You're insane. Using something that precious just to draw talismans, what are you trying to achieve? He grinned. It's time for another fun round of treasure harvesting. Stripper. Yes, came the reply. Just then the old woman began to stir. Her senses returned slowly, still hazy from the beating. She saw Tianmei Ren's cold expression and stammered, what are you planning to do? A moment later, her clothes went flying. Do you know who I am? You lowly commoners could never even reach my level. Before she could finish, she was completely naked, her cultivation stolen clean. Damn it, you stole everything. How? I was in control. How did I fall into your trap? Oh, I see. I get it now, Tianxian muttered. That monk earlier, you used him to lure her. You made him believe capturing you would be leverage. Then you deliberately flaunted your boundless divinity to spark her greed, drawing her into a trap. She underestimated you, giving you the perfect moment to strike with your killer move. Why? He mocked. Because human nature never changes. The same trick won't fool a smart person twice, so it's best to remove the problem from the roots. Both mother and daughter cursed in unison. Damn you both, you conniving bastards. You actually plotted this far against us. Tianxian's smug, punchable grin only made them angrier. They screamed even louder. Damn your ancestors. My husband, my father, my whole family will never forgive you. Little Huang Huang frowned. Bad words aren't for good people. Bad kids get punished. Punish them, Tianmei ordered. Make them stop talking. 2 sharp slaps landed instantly, flipping their faces sideways. Hachi taunted them with more blows until both women cried for mercy like spoiled brats. You nasty old hag. You nasty uncle. Have you learned your lesson yet? Tianxian glanced at the loot pile. Not much haul this time, huh, Tianmei? She replied. Quantity's low, but the quality's great. For instance, this ghost mountain coin. With it, you can summon hundreds of Yin soldiers, not just a few petty ghosts. During wartime, one person could wipe out an entire town with this. And this thing, a long jiao jiao. The craftsmanship's rough, but if you blow it with spiritual power, it connects straight to the 9 nether heavens. You can summon Hell's envoys or ghost immortals who hold titles. Suddenly, a knock echoed at the door, and Tianshan quickly went to answer. Outside stood an old man. Xiaosheng, I heard you and your wife offended someone in the Zhenghu world a few days ago. Lately we've heard strange noises. Are they harassing you? That's right, Tianxian sighed. Alas, we're just ordinary folks, powerless against bullies. When those thugs came to your house last time, we couldn't do anything. We're truly sorry. These past days, we scraped together a little money. You two should take it leave with Huang Huang, go somewhere safer. You're young, you'll find work and get by. Tianmei gently waved her hand. Grandpa, no need. You keep the money, we're fine. Actually, it's good you're here, Tianxian said. There's something important we need to discuss. Oh? The old man asked. What is it? We've met a benefactor who's helping us settle this issue. There's been chaos lately, but we're safe now. He lifted his shirt, proudly showing off his chiseled abs. See? The old man gasped. So that's it. I'm glad you're both fine. Truly glad. Coincidentally, that benefactor's interested in this land. He wants to offer compensation so everyone can relocate to the city with new houses waiting for them. What do you think? What? Houses in the city for a rundown place like ours? Yes, the benefactor insists. This land matters to him, and he's willing to pay generously. Please help us discuss it with the others. This chance won't come again. If everyone agrees, I'll have you arrange everything right away. She took the documents from his hand, looking surprised as the old man departed. I'll talk to everyone tonight and give you an answer tomorrow. She turned to him suspiciously. Why do you suddenly want everyone to move? Because the coming battle won't be simple. It might affect the surrounding area. I don't want anyone caught in the crossfire. I need to set up an altar and form a barrier here. Hearing that, she froze, staring at him blankly. You're right, he said calmly. Time's running short. We should start foundation establishment right away. She blushed deeply. What position are we using this time? He pulled her inside, closed the bed curtains, and motioned. Lie down, lift your shirt. She obediently crawled over, slowly raising her top. Like this, he said. Don't misunderstand. I'm helping you establish your foundation. Confused, she asked, why does this feel like when we were absorbing essences? Wouldn't it be better if we did it together? When cultivators are born, their essence turns into extreme yin or yang depending on their physique, making fusion impossible. This foundation establishment fluid is a pure yin treasure. It suits your body perfectly. Once your foundation's complete, helping me break through will be much easier. But forcing the fluid into your meridians all at once would destroy them. Your chi condensation stage can't handle it. I'll control the flow and guide it slowly. With the formless observation divine power, the fluid will tear and heal your meridians repeatedly, strengthening your body until your foundation is complete. It's going to hurt. Can you handle it? She smiled faintly. When I gave birth to Huang Huang, I endured a full day and night of pain. If I got through that, this'll be nothing. All right then, start channeling it into me. That sounded wrong, didn't it? She laughed awkwardly. Yeah, kinda sus. Ian Shin chuckled quietly. Women may look delicate, but once they become mothers, their strength's unmatched. Seeing you now proves it. You're an incredible mom and an amazing woman. At that moment, Tianshan began condensing a core formation pill to help his wife break through. Slowly, the energy flowed into her body through his guidance. Tianmei suddenly felt her inner energy shifting. Her damaged meridians began to heal instantly. Trembling from the pain, she pushed through, finally breaking into the foundation establishment realm. Hearing the moans and groans echoing from nearby, both mother and son looked visibly uncomfortable. Chen Yang finally broke the silence and asked, what kind of tricks are they pulling now? Shishao replied with a frown. I'm not sure either. Those two are strange. It's like they've mastered some sort of powerful dual cultivation technique. They change every single day. It's honestly terrifying, mother. What should we do now? She let out a small chuckle. What else can we do? Your father, that sly old fox, will definitely make his move. Though his cultivation might not be high compared to others of his generation, his real strength lies in building relationships and gathering Zenmai. That's what's kept the Ghost King sect standing strong among its rivals. Even your mother, she continued with a smirk, was dragged into his schemes, and that's how you came to be, you little rascal. But my foundation was destroyed by that bastard, Yang protested. It's all right, she said calmly. I heard the Lotus sect has a way to rebuild a foundation. I'll go get that method for you. You'll definitely have the chance to crush those pests and vent your anger. As for the Z family, their grandmaster was gravely injured. For my son's sake, that old man truly feels guilty. I don't know how to repay him, the old man said hoarsely. Buddha have mercy. This disciple may have suffered this calamity, the humble monk said, but I do not regret it. My only regret is that the cunning thief escaped before I could save. Please rest and recover here, Grandmaster, one of them urged. I'll do everything I can to restore you to full health. Suddenly, Steward Zhang came running in. Master, terrible news, Old G scolded. You idiot, why are you panicking in front of the Grandmaster? You're disturbing his rest. Why, yes, my apologies, Grandmaster, Zhang stammered, but the situation is urgent. Forgive my rudeness. Never mind, the Grandmaster said calmly. Let's discuss this outside. The scene shifted to the garden. Old G asked, so what kind of trouble did she cause this time? Terrifying the townsfolk again. Did the Cultivation Association come to investigate? Old Zhang wiped his sweat. No, but Madam even summoned the 100-year-old black steel king crab. Using such a thing on trash-level enemies is a waste. Wait, what do you mean she failed? Old G's face darkened. Don't tell me she can't even handle a few low-level chi refinement cultivators. She's capable of taking down foundation establishment experts of her rank with ease. Ung Lao dropped to his knees. Everything I said is true. The madam must have been hit by some strange magic. She barged into that man's place, caused chaos, and now both madam and the young master have gone missing. I sent people to investigate, he continued, and rumor has it there were two people tied up inside that house. It's most likely madam and the young master. It's bizarre. Old G looked completely frozen when, "All right, I understand," Old G interrupted. "You may leave. I'll handle this personally." From inside, the Grandmaster's voice called out, "Brother Shi, did something happen to your wife? I didn't expect that brat to be so cunning. Even my disciples fell for his tricks." "That man's schemes run deep. He's unpredictable and eerie," G muttered. "I don't even know what to do anymore. I'll still need to trouble the Grandmaster for a favor," Shisha said quietly. Even now, the Grandmaster couldn't fully grasp the situation. "What exactly is going on?" he murmured. Shisha then transferred his spirit into a statue and ordered someone to immediately send word to the Lotus sect. The message claimed that the Grandmaster had been ambushed by a heretic cultivator while visiting their sect, his soul seized and refined. His foundation had been completely destroyed, and they were to request the Lotus sect to dispatch their best experts for vengeance, under the pretense of restoring honor to the fallen Grandmaster. Meanwhile, back at Tianqian's residence, Huang shouted, "Quickly, fill that hole." Huichuo immediately grabbed a shovel and a sack to start filling it. Huang couldn't help grinning in delight at the sight. Just then, Yue came running over. "Hubby, everything's done," she said happily as everyone began to pack up. "Thanks for your hard work," he replied with a smile. "We're almost finished here too." Without warning, he released a powerful surge of true ki, and the entire formation came to life. A brilliant wave of aura burst forth, making it hard for Huang and Yue to stay on their feet. "What's happening?" she cried out. After a moment, the aura finally calmed. Inxian explained, "This spot is the formation's core. Once ignited with fire, the entire formation activates." "But I don't see anything changing, hubby." "Don't worry," he said. "Once the enemy attacks, you'll see all kinds of magical effects." Huang, go play nearby, but don't wander too far from the digging area. Mom and Dad still have things to do." Huang gave a mischievous grin. Seeing that, Yue turned her head away in embarrassment. "I know how to have fun on my own," Huang said cheekily. "You two can keep playing your little family game, but make sure you take it seriously." With that, the little girl darted off. "Let's move to another room," Shufeng said. "Everything's ready." Lin Shi looked puzzled. "Do we even need props this time?" Then, something suddenly clicked in her mind, and her expression turned to shock. A short while later, in the bathroom, Shufeng took off his shirt, revealing his strong, muscular build. When she saw the bathtub filled with water and a few floating rubber duckies, she was momentarily speechless. Seeing him already inside, she asked awkwardly, "What am I supposed to do?" He replied, "Get in here too." "Wait a sec," she stammered. "I'll go change into a swimsuit first." Moments later, Yue walked in shyly, her bashful aura like that of a gentle young maiden. Shufeng was completely mesmerized by her beauty. As she stepped into the tub, he asked, "Do you still remember the chi circulation method for the profound ice art that I taught you?" "Yeah, I remember," she replied softly. "Good," he said. "This incarnation of mine was created through a special rebirth method, so it shares the same body as my original one, and it carries a unique physique known as the Pure Yang Overlord body. It can refine ordinary foundation establishment elixirs, but also top-grade Pure Yang pills." She asked curiously, "What exactly is a Pure Yang Overlord body?" He answered, "My meridians are far thicker than those of ordinary people. When I compress my true chi at full strength to form Pure Yang elixir, the pressure is immense. It generates a tremendous amount of heat," he continued, "and if I can't disperse that heat, I'll be burned alive by the raging flame. My flesh and even my bones would be consumed, so I must cultivate in an extremely cold environment to circulate and dissipate that energy. Right now, conditions are limited," he said, "but luckily your foundation establishment elixirs have a yin attribute, and your powerful profound ice techniques can help pull the heat away, quelling the internal blaze." Then she asked, "Why not just refine ordinary elixirs instead?" He explained, "Pure Yang elixir is the strongest type of foundation establishment pill. In my previous life, I didn't know this method and wasted years on wrong paths. So now, with your help and the protection of my invulnerable divine power, I'm willing to risk refining the Pure Yang elixir to divine power. I'm willing to risk refining the Pure Yang elixir to break through. If that's the case, I'll do everything I can to help you. Let's begin," she said resolutely. Suddenly, he grabbed her foot, catching her off guard and leaving her momentarily stunned. She only watched as Zhufeng lifted her foot to his mouth, and seeing the odd posture, she asked, "Why must it be like this?" He replied, "The strength in the feet is over 3 times that of the arms, and the profound ice art's efficiency aligns with that power, so it's more effective at suppressing the internal heat." She thought to herself and decided she would accept whatever he asked of her. Zhufeng then began to form a series of complex hand seals, methodically arranging them as in traditional cultivation rites. His whole body flared as if stoked by wildfire, and the foundation establishment refining process commenced. She chanted the profound ice incantation and unleashed it forcefully through her feet. On one side, the water boiled with scorching steam, while the other side seemed frozen solid, icy cold air flowing through to be absorbed by Zhufeng's body. At that moment, a convoy of cars from the Ji family arrived. A sharply featured young man stepped forward and announced, "Zhao Huangquan, representing the Lotus Sect manager of the China Xuanjian General Bureau and chief of the Southeast Branch Law Enforcement Division, received notice from He Jie about the Lotus Sect elder's death. We have come to investigate." The server replied, "Please come in. The family head is in the rear hall making funeral arrangements for Great Master Bumming." Inside, old G said, "It's been a while. How have you been?" Why did Marshal Uncle Bumming die such an unfair death? Zhao demanded. Not only was his foundation destroyed, but his soul dissipated as well. Old Shi sighed. How can we be well? Your good-for-nothing cousin was kidnapped by a mysterious heretic, and Great Master Bumming was harmed while trying to save her. Even your aunt was struck. Our Jian family of the Ghost King sect has guarded the southeast for centuries, yet today we face this calamity. Zhao Huangquan then asked, what kind of heretic dares to cross our Jia family within the ghost territory? Moreover, Aunt is the heir of the Orthodox Lashan line. Anyone capable of defeating her would be a legendary figure. Who could it possibly be? Old Ji continued, not someone from a formally registered lineage. I don't know how he entered cultivation. He's just a rogue cultivator at the key refining stage. Yet somehow he managed to seize both your aunt and her dowry. Sorry, huh? What about that old black steel hairpin from back then? That's right, Old Shi replied. You carry the inheritances of both the Ghost King sect and the Lotus sect, and you're also a government official. You can legitimately mobilize a law enforcement team, which is why I invited you to discuss this matter, Zhao said confidently. Uncle, don't worry. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be where I am today. My cousin is the future of our family. This thief is cunning, kidnapping her and killing Marshal Uncle. I brought my team and I carry a strong killing intent. I will eliminate this thief and rescue my cousin and aunt. Old Shi clasped his hands in thanks. On behalf of the Shi family, I thank you. Back at the house, the two were still engaged in dual cultivation. Young Wei struggled as the man nibbled her toenails, and she worried because her magical power was gradually draining. Suddenly, Ying Tian opened his eyes wide with extraordinary spirit, and a surge of power erupted from him. It shattered the surrounding ice, leaving everyone stunned. A wave of spiritual energy enveloped him. Foundation establishment achieved pure Yang realm, she asked. Did it work? He replied happily. Yes, luckily someone helped, so it all went smoothly. Wonderful, she sighed with relief. I'm exhausted, let me sleep a while. She collapsed from fatigue. Fortunately, he caught her quickly. He held her close, murmuring comfort. You've worked hard. Outside, Huang looked in through the doorway. Oh, Mom, are you doing rhythmic exercises? She asked innocently. Why is so much heat coming from in there? She wondered aloud. He gestured for silence and said, Be quiet, Mommy's tired. Huang nodded and promised not to speak anymore. Huang won't talk anymore, the little girl echoed softly. From a distant rooftop, a light flickered, and the men's Oshuans watched closely. Both of them were refining yin to replenish yang. Those men and women certainly knew how to perform dual cultivation. Daring to kidnap the true heir of the Xie family, have they no shame? Hand me my weapon, one ordered. The team produced their equipment and responded, yes sir. In seconds, they lured the variety of specialized rounds. Zhao chambered the rounds into his firearm and took aim at Ying Tian's residence. The target was the little girl Huang standing near the doorway. One of the men said, Captain, shouldn't we investigate first? I've heard rumors the Xie family young master secretly practices extracting essences from commoners. Zhao snapped. Nonsense. Don't believe every rumor you hear. The fact is, this heretic is holding the Ghost King sect's young master and the Lushan eldest daughter prisoner. The threat is massive, and we must eliminate them immediately. Everyone, pick a target fire at will. They all pulled their triggers at once, and a volley of gunfire erupted. The first target was the little girl, Huang. Hearing the gunfire, the mother and son lit up with joy. Reinforcements are here, we're saved, they thought. That old geezer must have sent troops. That gunfire has to be from the Xuanzhen Bureau, the son guessed. I bet my cousin is leading the squad. 3 bullets cracked through the air. Definitely a pinpoint strike. They must have blown someone's head clean off. Mom, you're so sharp, you knew that just from the sound, she said smugly. Of course, you party all day and need to learn a thing or two if you want to be big in the cultivation world. He grumbled resentfully. What a shame. I didn't get to personally punish that bastard, and his mistress is some kind of top-tier human cauldron. That little girl was a treasure I found to help form my foundation. What a waste. On the other side, Zhao Quan was completely bewildered, having no idea what was happening. He peered closer and realized Ying Tian's family looked perfectly fine. Not only that, Ying Tian even flashed a sinister smile and glanced back at the man named Zhao. That sight made him soil himself in shock. How could this be possible? Reload and fire a second volley, someone ordered. They fired again, sending 3 more bullets toward the house. Yet each of those shots missed their mark. Yue asked anxiously, Honey, where's that gunfire coming from? He tried to reassure her. Don't worry, it's just another fool bringing his yang essence straight to our doorstep. Then he added, noting the attacker's gear, but their magical tools look. He simply waved a hand dismissively. A sudden gust of wind sprang up at his gesture. It whipped up a thick cloud of dust and smoke that hid everything from view. One of the attackers exclaimed in alarm. What kind of spell covers such a wide area is the enemy in the Golden Core realm? The man named Zhao replied calmly. If there were so many Golden Core experts around, they would be dominant in the sky. They wouldn't be hiding. This isn't a spell. It's a Dharma altar. Another muttered in disbelief. How can a nameless rogue have this? The Dharma altar is a secret technique from major sects and noble clans, able to draw on heaven and earth energy. Its power is massive, and its inheritors are masters of the 5 elements with exceptional intellect. This is just a simple Dharma altar used to blow wind and scatter dust. Nothing like the great immortal sex versions. Still, it'll serve to rattle my aunt and cousin for now," he barked. "Deploy the soul-shocking thunder. No Foundation establishment cultivator can resist it. Knock everyone inside unconscious so they can't use hostages." The whole team produced several knockout grenades. They pulled the pins together and tossed them forward, but the face of the man named Zhao froze instantly as he realized something was wrong. He watched the grenades land at their feet and shouted in a pale panic, "What the hell, who did this?" A powerful shockwave rolled down from the roof. The entire squad fell still, involuntarily dropping the grenades from their hands. The devices detonated with a pop, like a string of firecrackers. After the smoke cleared, the mother and son stood there with mouths agape, eyes wide in astonishment. At that moment, the rescuers found themselves all captured. The old woman Zhang demanded, Who exactly are you people?" She suddenly realized in horror, You've already formed your foundation. "Is this aura the pure Yang realm described in the ancient texts?" she whispered. Seeing the male lead's cultivation skyrocket crazily, the man stammered in disbelief. "How is this possible? 3 days ago you were still flesh and bone. How could this happen?" Kung Fu's wife, finally frightened, asked politely, May I ask if you belong to an ancient hidden lineage?" Ying Tian answered, "You could say that." She hurried to smooth things over. "It's all a misunderstanding. We were blind. We offended you. Please forgive us. What do you need? The Ji family will provide it with both hands," he said calmly. "Let me consider first. Let's see what we've gained from this trip." With that, the two began rifling through the captured group's possessions while the mother and son whispered, "Mom, what is an ancient hidden lineage?" She replied, "A family with a Dharma lineage like ours maintains secret inheritances passed down through generations. Back when the celestial realm and the mortal world were still connected," she began. "My Lushan Dharma lineage traces back to Madame Lin Shu," she continued. "The Ghost King sect is a branch of Mao Shan, founded by Master Zi Shuyuan and Madame Wei, and our Falu Mountain's founding ancestor, Madame Lin Shui, was a direct disciple of Shu Zhenjin, one of the 4 great celestial masters famed across the Eastern Jin dynasty, who in turn was a disciple of the reclusive cultivator Kan Mu, who cultivated in seclusion and comprehended the supreme spiritual treasure Dharma, passing down the Holy Mother spiritual light Dharma and Kanmu's teachings. Most likely, these are the hidden Dharma lineages, the ancient true immortals left behind in the mortal world. Those fortunate enough to be taught by them become outstanding figures capable of founding sects. Yet across generations, many powerful Dharma methods have been lost," she said, cursing under her breath. "Why him? Damn it," his mother hissed. "Keep your voice down," she warned. "Over there," Ying Tian said with interest. "This weapon forging is truly novel. A compact object containing heaven and earth, capable of long-range attacks," he observed. "The bullet is engraved with soul extinguisher. Even ordinary people can use it. Though it can't change course and needs no magical power. If used in numbers, it can even make a golden core cultivator's soul vanish," he noted. "I didn't expect that even after Dharma lineages were lost, people could still create such exquisite weapon forging methods," he said, as he acquired several soul-extinguishing sniper rifles and other research magic items. "That area effect soul attack item they used just now, plus several soul-shocking grenades, has power far beyond ordinary talismans," he added. "If we had let them complete that attack earlier, we would have been in serious trouble." Zhao Xuan clenched her teeth and demanded, What kind of heretical formation are you using? How could you evade our precise sniper fire and even manipulate my subordinates from such a long distance?" The mother and son exclaimed in shock. "Nephew? Cousin?" Ying Tian simply began to explain. "This formation has 8 layers. It's called the 8 Gates formation. The first gate, the barrier gate, focuses on disrupting the enemy, countering long-range attacks. It's simple but effective. Next is the alarm gate, which interferes with the opponent's soul. What they assumed was the formation's range was just the house, but in truth, it covers the entire neighborhood." He smirked. "Of course, there were still more surprises waiting for you, but it's unfortunate you were defeated before seeing the real power of this array." Zhao's expression hardened. "That's impossible. A formation with multiple layers, just reaching 3 layers is already a feat. Across this entire land, not even 5 people can achieve that. How could you possibly construct an 8-layered one?" Ying Tian replied calmly. 8 layers, is that really so difficult? Grandma Zhang immediately stepped in, flustered. "Grandson, stop talking. Don't offend this expert. He's a descendant of the ancient hidden vein." But Zhao still raised his head arrogantly. "Don't think that capturing us means you're safe. This mission has already been reported to the provincial authorities. If we fail to complete it on time, or if you kill us, the provincial bureau will deploy the newest and most devastating weapon ever developed, capable of destroying the heavens and extinguishing the earth. At that point, whether you're from a hidden vein, an exposed one, or an evil heretic, you'll all be reduced to ashes." Qianxian said lightly, "Relax, I'll let all of you go." Hearing that, they brightened like flowers in bloom. "Really? Zhao still didn't buy it. You're even more cunning than a fox. Letting us go so easily? Aren't you afraid we'll come for revenge later? When will grudges ever end? We cultivators pursue immortality and avoid karma. We don't meddle in mortal affairs. You people wanted to destroy my family, and I've already taken your foundations. Now everyone just minds their own business. Isn't that better? He added casually. Of course, I'll need to borrow some alchemy materials from the two of you. You don't mind, right? Ha ha ha, no problem. I'll get them ready right away. The scene then shifted to the Xie family, where Zhao Shuang wheezed weakly. I'm sorry, uncle, I couldn't eliminate that wicked scoundrel. They're ruthless and cunning, he said. Aunt and little cousin are still trapped in danger. Old Ji held the handwritten letter, his hands trembling with fury as he read. Old Zhao spoke up. Master, this situation, it's no different from what happened with Songqian. Giving away those items is like surrendering half the Ghost King sect's assets accumulated over centuries. Old Xie gritted his teeth. Do it, Steward Zhao continued nervously. Should we perhaps invite the old madam back first? Why would I call my mother? If she learns her precious grandson is mixed up in this mess, she'll go insane cause chaos and probably kill hundreds. Then she'll nag me non-stop and I'll likely lose my position as head of the family. Go make preparations, he ordered. I'll handle this in my own way. Dao was about to respond when old Ji patted his shoulder. Nephew, I truly regret asking you to intervene. It's brought harm to you instead. Uncle, don't say that. It's my duty to protect Washia's cultivation world. If evil cultivators appear unchecked, disaster is inevitable. He struggled to sit up. Uncle, I'll report this to the province immediately and request reinforcements. We can't allow this to shake the Shan family's foundation. The old man pressed him back down firmly. Rest for now, nephew. I'll handle the aftermath myself. Matters concerning the Ji family aren't for outsiders to meddle in. His aura surged violently. That ignorant youth, he got a lucky chance but flaunted it too much. He's digging his own grave. Meanwhile, back at the small house, Hin Xian and Yue Wei, the married couple, sat quietly together. Each ate 2 boiled eggs, yet the spiritual energy flowing from them belonged to cultivators in the mid-stage of foundation establishment. She asked softly, Tian Shen, how long were you a god in the heavens? He looked at her. Why this sudden curiosity? Huang chimed in excitedly. Is it fun up there? Do they have eggs as tasty as these? He picked up an egg from his bowl and handed it to her with a smile. Soon, a grand gift package will be delivered right to our door. Daddy will help you refine foundation establishment pills. Yue Wei then asked, Jianshan, why did you undergo a tribulation? Did something major happen in heaven? He nodded. Yeah, the immortal realm was always a place where the strong ruled and the weak were erased. Immortals and Buddhas chasing higher realms and greater power began to wage war. After the ancient battle of the gods, the war of Zulu, and the clash among the three teachings, the primordial energy was left in ruins, so the remaining cultivators chose to sever the link between heaven and earth. Each faction cultivated alone, maintaining balance to prevent future wars. But a few days ago, that balance shattered. A mysterious force began hunting immortals and Buddhas. My divine body was destroyed, my spirit gravely wounded, and I had to exhaust my final bit of magic to escape into the mortal realm. She murmured, Aren't immortals supposed to live carefree lives like in the stories? He explained gently, Humans project their wishes into legends. From what I've seen, ever since heaven and earth were severed, the mortal world has fallen into endless chaos and constant warfare. Dynasties rise and fall, powers shift until it led to the Third World War. Huang asked innocently, Daddy, why do people have to fight? Wouldn't it be better if everyone just built castles together, played on slides, and hid in hide and seek? He chuckled and ruffled her hair. If only the world worked that way. Suddenly, a voice called from outside. The current head of the Ghost King sect, Xie Baoqing, has come to pay respects, humbly requesting an audience with the esteemed Taoist. Ah, it's Dad. Dad's here. At that moment, Tianxin stepped forward, opened the door, and asked calmly, Is the stuff here? Qin Baoqing bowed respectfully, guilt written all over his face. My wife and son have offended you, Taoist. I've been too busy with work and failed to notice in time. This is entirely my fault. The old man then gestured to Manager Zhao, who carried over a large chest. Everything you requested has been prepared. Please accept it as an apology. I beg you to release my wife and son. I, Qin Baoqing, will make sure they're disciplined properly. Old Zhang carefully lifted the lid of the chest. Inside, brilliant light burst out from a pile of rare and precious herbs. Tianxian said coldly, Release them. The door to the room opened, and Yui stepped out, freeing the mother and son. Shiqing approached with a polite smile, extending his hand. Let's end our conflicts here. From now on, may hostility turn into friendship, grudges into harmony. Seeing how the old man had humbled himself and was speaking sincerely, Jianshan didn't think twice. He reached out and shook his hand with a smile. Let's hope it stays that way. The old man immediately excused himself. Then I shall take my leave. But his face twisted in bitterness, as if he'd just swallowed hot chili. Inside, he wished nothing more than to tear Tianxian apart. A short while later, on the road, his daughter asked in frustration, "Father, how could we just let them go like that, and even give away half of the Jing family's fortune?" The old man scolded sharply, "Shut your mouth. You're like a salted fish that only knows how to waste time. Normally, I ignore your foolishness, but you've clearly forgotten what I've taught you. Some things should never be done, but if you insist on doing them, you must see them through completely. Yet all you did was play tricks with your enemy. If you had gone all out from the start, do you think they would have survived your attack?" Madame Zhang snapped back, furious. "Why are you yelling? How dare you scold my son?" the old man barked. "And you, all you ever do is fight and kill. You know nothing of restraint or etiquette. That's exactly why our son turned out this way. Even your dowry's gone now. What's left?" Realizing his words hit home, she couldn't argue. Not only were the mother and son's cultivations crippled, but even the mother's dowry had been lost. The humiliation for the Shi family was unbearable. She clenched her teeth, cursing under her breath. The old man continued, "Being afraid to break a few things while catching a mouse isn't my way. Only by keeping you two alive can I act freely." The woman's eyes lit up. "When you shook his hand earlier, were you planning to use that move?" The old man pulled off his glove and sneered, "Heh, I'll let him find out for himself. If he can handle what comes from the Ghost King sect, then fine. If not, too bad for him." Back on the other side, Huang called out, "Bring the chest inside for me and hold it tight. Drop it and I'll grab you by the hair and smack you." Kuichak grumbled, "So now that I'm a ghost, I also have to work part-time as a delivery boy for Tianxian?" Tianxian replied casually, "Hey hussy, you know how it goes. If you've got the life to take it, then take it. If not, well, tough luck. My family might be poor, but we've got 200 in the bank to pay for your life, okay?" Yui asked, "But if you let them go like that, won't they come after us again?" He chuckled softly. "I hope they keep their word. From now on, we stay out of each other's way or they won't be so lucky next time." She looked at him again. "Did you already prepare an escape plan?" He nodded. "Next, I want to help Huang ascend beyond the mortal realm. I'm going to refine a second-rank minor rejuvenation pill, and I'll need your help." She clung to his arm and said, "Okay, I'll help you." He smiled. "No, I'm the one helping you." Suddenly, her face froze in shock. "Wait, you don't mean that refining pills also needs dual cultivation, do you?" He gave her a calm look. "That's right, why wouldn't it?" Then he took out a doll. Huang, go play next door for a bit. Mommy and Daddy are going to make a pill for you." The little girl beamed. "Okay, Dolly and I will make some yummy food for you too. When you're done, we'll help you get your strength back." Yui reminded her gently, "Be careful while you play, and call us if anything happens." The little girl pointed at Huichuo and said confidently, "Don't worry, Mommy and Daddy, the little ghost will protect me." At that moment, the ghost seal on Huichuo's chest shimmered faintly, making him look oddly dependable. Tianxian went back inside and picked up a purple mushroom. He handed it to her and said, "First, eat this 500-year-old purple cloud Ganoderma. Then follow the order I told you and drink the rest of the spiritual elixirs." She asked curiously, "In Journey to the West, the Grand Supreme Elder used a big furnace to refine pills, so why do you have to feed it to me?" He explained patiently. "You and I have already stepped onto the cultivation path. We absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth and store its essence within. When you take in these spiritual treasures, we'll use the mother's spiritual furnace, which nurtures life, as our cauldron. By merging our yin and yang energies, we can create a pure and perfect spiritual pill within ourselves." She instinctively touched her belly and said, "Wait, that place can be used like that?" He nodded. "That place gives life. It's the natural cycle of heaven and earth itself, the most miraculous of all." "So," he said softly, "shall we begin?" She smiled faintly and whispered, "Yes, let's begin." She then brought the mushroom to her lips and took a gentle bite. While others might be enjoying fried chicken, this woman was feasting on heaven and earth's spiritual treasures. As soon as the cultivation began, Yui felt her entire body changing. Her breath grew hot, and she almost wanted to tear off her clothes, gasping, "Tiangshan, I feel so hot all over." Tiangshan stayed calm and said, "First, use the Jade Child spiritual herb to strengthen your foundation. Nourish your vitality, and fortify your cauldron so it can withstand the tempering of yin and yang." He waved his hand, and 100-year-old spiritual locks floated out, fusing into her body for absorption. Her body radiated a brilliant light as incantations echoed. "Humans are the essence of heaven and earth. All things return to transformation, merging with the treasure cauldron nascent birth through yin and yang tempering." Suddenly, she screamed, "Husband, I feel like I'm about to give birth." Her lower body glowed and a medicinal pill rolled out from within. Yanshan remained calm at the sight, but for her, it was the first time witnessing something so unreal. It worked," her husband replied, his hidden treasure aura shining clear and secluded. "The medicinal pill has been refined. Moreover, it's of exceptionally high quality, all thanks to you," she murmured, utterly exhausted, and then she collapsed. "I'm a little tired, I'll sleep for a bit," she said before sinking into his arms. He comforted her. "Rest assured, sleep, you've done well." The scene shifts back to Zuoga. As soon as the carriage stopped, Butler Zhang stepped forward to greet them. "Master," he asked, "have the arrangements been completed?" Lao Zhang replied, "Everything has been arranged." Lao Xie grinned with something sinister in his expression. Ha, very good. Let's begin. Inside a dim room, a puppet appeared. They watched as the old man removed his glove and placed it inside the puppet's torso, then prepared several sinister instruments while intoning an incantation. Night Wanderer, Soul Calling, Bow. Locusts devour the heart. Soul fragments linger, driving tears into chains. Dad's messing with witchcraft, the son blurted from the side. What is the old man doing? The daughter asked. I've never seen anything like it. The ghostly energy is so thick it's frightening. The mother explained, earth from graves of wronged souls, oil from fierce corpses, and a puppet carved from water yin wood. This is the secret art that let your Giwang lineage dominate the southeast, a technique passed down only to successive clan heads. The blood ghost curse can kill an enemy within 100 li by cursing them to death. Xin Xiao was surprised and puzzled to hear this. Huh, why didn't grandfather teach me? She asked. I planned to wait until you reached foundation establishments so you could inherit the Giwang mantle and then pass this down to you. I didn't expect this incident to happen. Old G slammed the table. Curse him by day as a ghost, by night as a demon, so he will have nowhere to return. He then drove several sharp nails straight into the puppet's vital points. Back with Tianxian, he immediately handed the elixir to Huang Huang. Eat this, and you'll even be able to make your own ice cream popsicles. The little girl accepted it with delight. Really? That's amazing. Huang Huang will make super delicious sheep ice cream for mommy and daddy, with honey too, she declared. Hearing that, the couple exchanged looks and the household was filled with cheer. Huang Huang promptly put the pill into her mouth, but instead of chewing, she swallowed it whole. The little girl then spoke, in a slightly odd tone. Oh no, you said to, Yui asked, what's wrong, Huang Huang? The little girl replied, I ate too fast and forgot to savor the taste. Seeing her innocent face, Yue found it unbearably cute in a motherly way. Little Huang Huang then fainted. Tianxian quickly scooped her up into his arms. Tian asked in confusion, Tianxian, what's wrong with? He explained, don't worry, the elixir is taking effect, reshaping Huang Huang's meridians and cleansing her marrow across her body, simultaneously generating a huge surge of true qi. Once she wakes, she'll be able to step straight into peak qi condensation. Suddenly, Antian's heart tightened and she collapsed in worry. Brother, what's wrong with you, Tianxian? At that moment, he felt something amiss throughout his body and clenched his teeth. He signaled to Huizhou. Quickly take Huang Huang to the ba. Huizhou obeyed and carried Huang Huang to rest. Meanwhile, Antian also realized that someone had begun to act. Yue continued, how can this be? How did they do it? There's no spiritual sensation from any cultivators within a 100-meter radius around us. This is the Yin Mountain Ghost Curse. It harms targets secretly, without form, without trace. What should we do now? She asked. He soothed her gently. Don't panic. I already said if they stop now, they could still be forgiven, but since they've acted, they'll have to bear the consequences. I need you to help me counterattack. She replied, okay, use me as you see fit. Those wicked people must receive their punishment. He then handed her something. Take this. Place it between your legs, she asked shyly. Ah, this can actually counterattack? He continued, the curse kill divides into soul curse and life curse. What they used is the most basic, low-level type. Its essence is the connection between heaven and man. Cultivators refine true qi and treasured essence to store the energy of heaven and earth. When casting spells, energy is consumed, but it's replenished through the interaction between heaven and man. This ghost kill curse essentially works by taking samples of the target's aura items worn close to the body and other objects that store aura, like pagoda tree fiber, woven cloth, or a qi-absorbing glove. Those are then placed into a Yin Earth 9 refinement wood matrix to create an energy amplifier. The ultimate goal is to force the target to collapse from excessive energy intake. She asked, is this that scumbag's clothing? He replied, it's good. We're using his own power to return it to him, so he must bear the consequences himself. Besides, Shi Xiao's foundation is already shattered and his physique is weakened. He won't last long. Hearing this, she secretly placed the cloth inside, feeling a little uneasy. Antian then laid his hand on her abdomen and began channeling various cultivation methods. A fierce aura rose like a storm. Over there, Oluji was not idle either. He continued transferring energy into the puppet. Xin Xiao, drowsy, muttered, why isn't it done yet? Does this magic even work, old man? His mother scolded. This is your family's secret technique, father. You used it to harm many opponents, and that's how you rose to where you are. Learn it well in future. He waved his hand dismissively. Too troublesome. Wouldn't it be easier to prepare more magical artifacts and talismans for me? I'll smash Tianxian to death first, then make his wife beg for death. Suddenly he froze, as if sensing something. His mother glanced over, puzzled. The young man's face drained of color as he clutched his head and groaned. As if something was about to happen. He convulsed in pain and vomited blood. Witnessing the sight, Madame Zhang cried out in alarm. Son, what's happening? That old man's spiritual voodoo had actually rebounded and affected his own son. Xiao began to convulse, collapsing to the ground as his face turned purple and he vomited blood violently. Seeing this, Madame Zhang called out anxiously, Old man, hurry, come see what's wrong with my son. The old man, who had been chanting, froze in astonishment, then rushed over to inspect the situation. Taking his pulse, he found the vital signs steady and declared there was nothing wrong. Suddenly, Shishao abruptly rose to his feet. He too found his body felt normal, as if nothing had happened. He checked his shoulders and neck and felt completely intact, just as before. Seeing no visible problem, the old man resumed his work and began chanting the soul-slaying incantation a second time. An eerie, ominous force surged outward once more. Shishao sneered gleefully as he cursed Tianxian. Then his expression shifted. He managed only a cry before coughing up more blood. This time the bleeding was worse, and the young man collapsed unconscious to the ground. Madame Zhang yelled in panic. "You damned old man, stop! Something's terribly wrong. What on earth is happening? Take the young master to the inner sanctum clinic for a full examination, now." The next day, the young master underwent scans from head to toe. By then, he had stopped vomiting blood, otherwise Uji would have had to prepare more black pudding kanji. Madame Zhang anxiously asked, "How is my son?" The elder examined the scans and spoke gravely. "In this world, there are two truly terrifying kinds of magic. One is beyond our ability to handle. The other is magic that reveals no outward sign. Your son has unfortunately encountered both. What should we do?" Old Jean's face went pale and he gritted his teeth. "Prepare the carriage at once." A while later, the scene returned to Tianxian's home. "Dad, Huang Huang can make popsicles by herself now. Mom and Dad, Huang Huang invites you to try them." The little one beamed with pride. "I made them myself." Seeing how capable she was, the two tasted the treat. "Has that matter been resolved?" the husband asked. "Don't worry," she replied. "Soon they will bring him back themselves." No sooner had she spoken than Cuckoo arrived. Outside, a voice thundered. "Shay Baoqing of the Ghost King sect returns for a second visit. Fellow cultivator, please come out to meet us." "See, they've come again. Let's go see." Yue laughed quietly, amused that her husband had outwitted them. Each fan at their door marked another strategic victory. The Ghost King sect had been waiting a long time. On the stretcher lay none other than the young master Jiyun. He sneered. "Fellow cultivator, visiting twice in a single day? How enthusiastic. What brings you this time?" Hearing that sarcastic tone, old Ji bristled but kept his composure. "I was told within the 5 arts of Taoism you are skilled in medicine. A little miraculous cure has widened our horizons. It's nothing grand, please. Cut to the point. My son suddenly fell ill upon returning home. We've run every test and found nothing, so we invite you to examine him and offer guidance. Generous rewards will be given." Tianshan waved politely and smiled. "You're too kind, truly too kind. You've already given so much and now more, it's awkward. But since you insist, I'll take a look." At first glance, old Shi's face looked bitter, yet he could do nothing about it. Lao then bowed deeply. Thank you, Tao friend Tian." Tianshan sneered once, then quickly took the young man's pulse. He said bluntly, "Well, this one's in bad shape." Lao asked anxiously, "What is it, Tao friend?" "I don't know how his foundation got damaged. Did he offend someone?" "He's been hit by an especially vicious curse technique called Shenhun Luan, soul confusion. His soul is injured, which is why he's unconscious and in grave danger." Yeah, couldn't help but chuckle, quickly covering her mouth. Inwardly, Shi Baoxing ground his teeth in fury and pain. Outwardly, he forced a smile and asked, "Do you, Dao friend, have a way to cure him?" Tianxian seized the moment. "Although it's dangerous, it's not impossible to save him. But, Dao friend, be frank, dispelling this curse will cost money, materials, and spirit treasures. It may be very expensive." Hearing this, Lao felt his heart sink and wanted to scream. As long as it saved his son, he would pay anything. Yue had already prepared a list as long as a memorial and produced it. Just glancing at it made Lao Shi's head spin. He couldn't finish reading it in half a day. He spat blood. "You're bleeding us dry. I suspect you're deliberately ripping me off. This will take every cent of the Shi family assets. Do you want the Shi line to die out, or do you want to keep some wealth?" Lao was berated into submission and replied, "Those extremely rare spirit herbs and elixirs can be skipped. But what about the earthfire jade marrow, a high-grade component for forging artifacts? It's scarce. How is it used for treatment? And 100-strike lightning wood? Are you joking? Even a piece struck 5 times is rare, and now you want one struck 100 times. Where am I supposed to find that?" Seeing Lao so agitated, Tianxian said coldly, "If you know how to cure him, why do you need me? Otherwise, prepare the funeral arrangements. He won't last long." Lao asked, If it can't be cured, then what?" Tianshan replied, "If it can't be cured, when your Ghost King sect mobilizes the whole clan, no matter how well I plan, escaping death will be hard. So, fine, I'll try to gather the materials. I entrust your son to you, Dao friend." A moment later, the young man was taken to the most expensive hospital in the region, Azure. Huang Huang then asked, "Dad, why did they bring this ugly man here again?" Tianshan answered, "He's sick and needs Dad to treat him. Heaven cherishes life, and with a generous reward, Dad will help temporarily." Yue asked, "Are you really going to cure him?" Tianshan chuckled, "I also have to help him rebuild his foundation." She pressed, "Will it cost a lot?" Tianshan replied, "He's only sealed by a single sealing technique. The Tang family can't remove it. For me, it's a small matter. As for rebuilding his foundation, I only need a drop of blood." She was startled. "Huh, that's all?" Then those custom Fu Tianfa Yin Celestial Law seal bullets you told them to prepare, combined with the soul-destroying effect we obtained last time, are all one-use items. Once used, they're gone and cannot be reused. I need to forge powerful magical artifacts to use as trump cards at this stage, to handle stronger enemies that may appear, she said. You mean the items you told the Tang family to prepare are priceless treasures? That emptied their 100 years of savings. After curing that kid, they will definitely aid you in attacking with everything they have. Exactly. So during this period of calm, we must prepare thoroughly. Back at the Shi household, the old man stormed in, venting his frustration as he returned home. Seeing this, Madame Zhang asked, "How is our son?" Old Jay only looked sullen, as if Tianxian had just bullied him. He ordered, "Butler, go and summon the old matriarch immediately." Holding the promissory note, Madame Zhang cursed under her breath. Damn it, every item on this list is a priceless heavenly treasure or rare material. That sly bastard's planning to drain us dry. The old man, however, remained calm. It's fine, just give him everything he asks for. Saving our son is what matters most right now. If he dies, then the resources and effort we've poured into him for over 20 years, and the grand plan I've laid out for the upcoming Cultivation World Summit will all be ruined. Not long after, as promised, the old man brought over a heavy wooden chest. Everything you requested is here. Xian snapped his fingers, and the chest lid swung open on its own, revealing the contents inside. All the medicinal ingredients are present. This Earthfire Jade Marrow may not be the finest quality, but it'll do. And this Thunderclap wood its grade isn't perfect either, but it looks like it's been struck by lightning hundreds of times. How did you even manage to get this? He asked curiously. Modern science can't exactly control lightning yet. The most advanced labs in the country, the old man explained, had to burn through an entire city's worth of electricity for a full year just to create that single block. It wasn't easy. Will it work? The old man asked. Tianshan gave a faint smile. It'll do, barely. That's good, the old man sighed in relief. The Shi family begs you, Taoist, please save him quickly. Tianshan raised a hand to stop him. The old man looked puzzled. What do you mean, Taoist? Tianshan replied calmly. Please return for now. What I'm about to perform is a secret technique of my sect. It's not suitable for outsiders to witness. I'll return your son safe and sound in a few days. Though deeply frustrated, the old man had no choice but to trust him and endure in silence. Inside the house, Tianshan opened the chest. He murmured, "Who would have thought mankind, once primitive eating raw meat and drinking blood, has, after thousands of years, evolved to the point of nearly touching the realm of the divine through intelligence and invention? I suspect the recent disturbances in the immortal realm might also be tied to the rapid progress of human science." Yue asked curiously, "You mean Newton's laws and Einstein's relativity are getting close to the path of cultivation?" "Exactly," Tianshan said. Guiding fire and harnessing lightning were once arts of the Tao, but now humans can build flying machines, deploy satellites to watch the entire Earth, and even create weapons capable of destroying heaven and Earth. Later, prepare a full set of textbooks on physics, mathematics, and chemistry for me. I want to study them. Alright, let's start, he continued. First, refine some elixirs for later, then move on to forging magical artifacts. She blushed slightly and asked, "Do you plan to refine the elixirs right here?" She glanced over, only to see him already focused on his work. Yue's expression turned awkward. Pills were suddenly tumbling out from somewhere, apparently from a hole in his pocket. 5 bowls worth, he listed. Dragon Elephant Strength Enhancing Elixir, Vajra Pill, Muscle Expansion Powder, and Spirit Stimulating Pellet. And this youth retaining pill, once taken, it keeps one's appearance eternally youthful. Hearing that, any woman would treat it as a heavenly treasure. Yue's eyes lit up. Really? Something that magical exists? She eagerly scooped a spoonful into her mouth. He chuckled. Indeed, it was once sought after even by celestial fairies. He refined several more batches in passing. After tasting it, Yue felt her skin turn smoother and more radiant, as if she'd reversed time by a few years. Tianxian stretched lazily. Now comes the important part. Let's begin crafting the magical artifacts. Artifacts fall into 3 types: auxiliary, offensive, and soul-based. Each plays a vital role in real battle. But given our current setup, let's focus on the 2 most practical ones first, he said. Yue blinked at the materials. They're so big, will they even fit? Genshin replied. Refining artifacts isn't like concocting pills. It requires gravity, and the delicate body can't handle extreme heat directly. So, we'll use the Taikang region of the 6 viscera to endure the process. Wait, she asked, following his gaze. Isn't that the stomach? This is what's called the sea of grain and water, he explained. The core of ki and blood transformation, it can contain both fire and water. Like an ancient swordsmith tempering a blade with fire, he continued, only through 100 rounds of quenching in water can a true weapon be born. Cultivators at the core formation stage and beyond can also refine their natal artifacts here, nurturing them later in the Dantian. He then swallowed the medicinal pill he held. According to the method I taught you, circulate the profound energy together with me. Let this jade marrow be tempered within our taikang. After 100 refinements, the artifact will be complete. She nodded happily and joined him in dual cultivation. The two shared a passionate kiss, their flames of energy growing so intense that their clothes disintegrated and fire enveloped their bodies. I will refine with yang fire, Tianxian said softly, lifting a glowing treasure pearl. The technique transferred to Yu Wei as she absorbed it. As the pearl entered, her body gradually turned to a translucent icy jade hue. And I will temper with cold ice. After 100-fold refinement, the artifact will be born. The scene shifted back to the Shi residence, where the couple sat deep in contemplation. Suddenly, Butler Jean rushed in, panic written all over his face. Master, there's news. The master straightened. What's the situation? Reporting to the family head, we've placed surveillance over a 10-mile radius. There's no way for them to escape. We've noticed some movement inside, but can't yet tell what they're doing. As soon as we know more, we'll report immediately. That's all we can do for now. We must not let them slip away under any circumstance. Right then, a shadowy aura erupted without warning. The old couple immediately broke out in cold sweat, shaken by the sudden presence. Old Zhang felt a chill crawl along his spine. Even the teacup on the table warped strangely, and several faces seemed to scream from inside it. Then a loud voice barked. You worthless things, I went all the way to Thailand to beg presents from the White Dragon King for my precious grandson, so he could reach Foundation establishment, and now I hear my precious grandson lies gravely injured. Shan Baoqing, how did you run the Qi family? How will you face your father and ancestors when they call you to the next world? The two of them cried out in astonishment. It's Mother, they realized as an imposing old woman entered, leaning on a cane. Mother, please allow me to explain, someone pleaded. She snorted. Explanations are for the weak. Has the Ghost King sect survived by pleading? You worthless thing. Perhaps I was a fool clinging to old rules back then, promoting by seniority instead of talent. Maybe your younger brother, Bao Fu, would have carried this burden far better than you. Madame Zhang hurried forward to calm her. Mother, please don't let anger damage your health. Our opponent may be a disciple of an ancient hermit, and he's been using lost arts to gain the advantage, which is why we were blindsided. The old woman snapped back. Shut up. You squandered all the valuable dowry and your foundation has been seized. The cultivation world has truly changed. The younger generation is worse than before, obsessed with mahjong and designer goods, while you remain a useless thing without pills, injured and arrogant. Madame Zhang had no answer to the harsh rebuke. The old woman said, let's go take a look. Lao Tia brightened. Mother is finally moving. She sighed. This old body nears its end, and when I pass the Ghost King sect's future will rest on you precious grandsons. For daring to covet our sect's future, send their souls to the underworld so our ancestors at the Nine Springs can mete out fitting punishment. The old woman slowly moved outside. Then, as she stepped into the air, Lao Shi cried out in excitement. She's stepping into the void. Has her cultivation already reached the peak of early golden core? Despite her age, she could be seen soaring off like a rock hurled through the sky. He thought that, compared to her realm, that brat was only mid-foundation establishment. Before a golden core cultivator, he's nothing but a child trying to steal from the Jin family. What could he possibly rely on? Back on Tianxian's side, the treasure pearl had already fused into his body. Suddenly, he took his wife's hand, leaving her a little puzzled. He slid a ring onto her finger and said, "This ring is the token of our marital bond in this life. You're marrying my avatar and you're marrying me. I never gave you a wedding ring before, so this magical artifact ring, made from lightning-struck cypress, is the best I can offer." She asked, "What about yours?" He beamed. "Rings must come in pairs." Seeing that, Yan Wei fell for him all over again and gushed without restraint. He asked, "Do you remember how to use these two magical artifacts? They're here as expected, and there's even a golden core cultivator." He took her hand and said, "Don't worry, let's go meet them." The scene cut outside where Antian asked, "Who is this old matriarch?" Lao Jie replied with pride, "This is my mother, once the Southeast's dominant force, sole inheritor of the official general's intangible heritage, Thu Dia Tong Am, and even a folk culture ambassador." The old woman spoke, "My grandson ran into trouble but was rescued by this young man. I wonder how he has progressed." He answered, "The process was difficult, but I did not fail. Thanks to the natural treasures Master Shi collected, young Master Shi could be saved." Hearing that made Lao Shi's head swim. He thought the speaker was trying to humiliate him. The old woman's expression darkened as she fixed Tianxian and Yu Wei with a fierce gaze. Yu Wei's whole presence exuded a potent aura. The old woman considered for a moment, then said, "We'll take him away," her face breaking into a smile that startled Lao Shi, and Anjian did not object. At that moment, Shi Xiao, looking healthy, rushed out calling for his grandmother. Wang Huang scolded, "You naughty old man, my father already healed you. Don't you dare act up again or you'll get a spanking." Seeing Ying Tian and his wife, the couple dared not retort and could only force smiles, answering, "Yes, yes, we will reform and start anew." He immediately rushed over, clinging and acting spoiled like a child. "Wakua, Graham." "Grandma," he whispered, "Grandma, you must avenge me and get rid of them." The two pairs of eyes met, flashing hostility, but just as he expected a tantrum, she pinched his ear and scolded, "You useless thing, have you forgotten my teachings? Go home and copy scriptures for me. My grandson is safe. We will take our leave now, and will certainly visit another day to express our gratitude until we meet again." Watching the old woman depart, the two Jian family members were stunned, having anticipated a scene of demanded justice. Yue asked, why didn't they make a move? He explained, if Shi Baoqing is a crafty fox, then his mother is a 1,000-year-old fox demon. She just now scanned everyone within a mile with her divine sense. She was neither rash and arrogant like that good-for-nothing grandson, nor haughtily conceited like his mother. Rather, she was a hunter far more cautious than Shi Baoqing, someone who prepares thoroughly before launching a lethal strike. Meanwhile, in the car on the way back, Shi Xiao complained, Grandma, why didn't you kill those Guao people? You're a core formation cultivator. All he saw in return was the matriarch's contemplative face, as if she were calculating something deeper. At that moment, the old fox grandmother outlined her plan, subtly instructing her grandson in the cunning of experienced folk. Of course I could act now, but if I simply heal you, wouldn't he have another chance to harm you? She replied in a casual tone, are they really already scheming? His timid side showed as he gripped her arm tightly. Grandma, I'm really scared. You brat, she said. Enemies like these wield many lost arts, so we must prioritize your safety to prevent them from finding another opening. If our Ghost King sect loses both wealth and people, it would spell sect-destroying calamity. By then, even if we annihilate the enemy, what will it have gained us? Her fury flared. How dare they make an enemy of the Ghost King sect, whatever value they hold. If we cannot possess it, then we shall utterly destroy it so no one else can seize it. He asked in surprise. You mean? Shi Baoqing spoke up. Your grandma is teaching you when removing weeds, uproot them completely, and if you escort a Buddha, send him all the way to the Western Paradise, she lectured, then snapped, Pish, who are you to teach him? You're worthless yourself. You were cautious once, but greed overtook you, and so the JF family's century of wealth was stolen. He sighed, admitting, I know my mistake. She continued, you reckless prodigals, always biting off more than you can chew, just like that useless old man, wanting everything and losing your lives. To be reduced to this by a few nameless nobodies, you've thoroughly disgraced the Ghost King sect. Oh heavens, you burden this old woman with worry over generations of our family. The young man immediately fawned, Grandma, you are the pillar of our family. I will mend my ways and act decisively. From now on, against any low-level trash who dares defy us, we will show no mercy. We will utterly annihilate them and then make their souls and spirits rot, she vowed. After returning home, he was led into a room and ordered to remove his shirt as if for some ritual, while the old fox placed extremely venomous GU worms into a jar. One could see her pounding them with a pestle until they became a foul, pulpy liquid. She then used the tip of her staff to trace a grotesque circular pattern. The pulp substance was applied over the design. Shi Xiao's body was then marked with several bold tattoo-like lines meant to make debt collection from Yingtian easier later. After she chanted an incantation, the lines flared to life. Bewildered, he asked, Grandma, what is this? Why have I never heard of it? She explained, this is the Spirit Isolation Array from the Netherworld Treasury Palace. It can block all spells with spiritual power lower than the caster's, allowing me to freely deal with this enemy of the Shuang family. At Yingtian's house, Huizhou was assigned to watch over little Huang Huang while she slept. While Yingtian scouted the surroundings, he suddenly sensed something approaching from outside. Outside the door, a spatial rift opened. A swarm of corpse soldiers wielding sabers poured through and headed straight for their door. From a god's eye view, there appeared to be roughly 20 of them, and more kept arriving. Someone warned, They're here. Are you ready? Shi and Huizhou stiffened with tension, prepared to clash immediately, no matter who the attackers were. Far off, the Ji family's carriage was parked to one side, watching covertly. Our Ghost King sect established itself in his cultivation world through military might, using numbers to overwhelm weaker foes when facing mysterious enemies. First, we'll sweep through with our army, using our greatest advantage. Even if we can't kill them, we must wear them down, force out their trump cards, then deliver the final killing blow, someone planned. And back in the fight, the couple leaned on each other to resist. He struck with forceful palm techniques while she cast intricate spells, quality opposing quantity. As Yue cast a spell, a corpse demon suddenly lunged. With a resounding thud, its head was torn off. Huizhou, the right-hand man, had delivered the fatal strike. About an hour later, the group exhaled in relief after wiping out the entire force. Yue, exhausted, said, They're all eliminated, while another warned, raising vigilance to the highest level. This was only testing our strength. The next attack won't be so simple. Suddenly, his gaze fixed in one direction. They're here. At that moment, another troop of soldiers stepped through the spatial gate, all with mid-foundation establishment cultivation. Antef was taken aback. I didn't expect such evil arts to persist to this day. On the other side, Shiqing exclaimed, So many mid-foundation corpse puppets. Mom, where did you get them? She chuckled. They're all your old acquaintances. Lingju Shengren of the Tiantai sect, the Onmyoji Watanabe Ichiro of Dongying, the ancient Tai sorcerer, the Tu Chie of Huasek, and Long Ma Bei Jiang of Vietnam. Lao was stunned. Aren't these experts from former generations and your own peers who disappeared long ago? She smugly confirmed they'd been turned into corpse puppets, adding, Hey, most of the charms and artifacts we took from you are nearly spent. Those two are only foundation establishment cultivators who've exhausted their magic, plus a peak chai-refining little girl, a small mortal body corpse puppet, and even your Heigang Wing. Without lifting a finger, we can deal with them. But Mom, they also set up formations. According to my grandson, there are many unknown functions. Someone worried. She scoffed. Formations draw power from local spiritual energy. Where energy is abundant, their force is endless, so major sects chase DR lap formations and they're hard to break. But this godforsaken place has only enough spiritual energy for mosquito-catching, mind-confusing formations. Nothing to fear, even if they have other plots. Those will be exposed before this horde of corpse puppets. And if this group fails, do you think I have only this one strategy? As expected of you, Mom, always keeping a few backup plans? Someone praised. These Foundation establishment corpse puppets still retained the unique magics they held in life, making them hard to deal with. Masked assailants surrounded Antaya. In a flash, they lunged with incredible speed, catching him slightly off guard. But it was still manageable. He blocked a blow with one hand. His other hand moved into position to counterattack. Someone chanted the Ceasing Wisdom King mantra. Another attacker, wielding a strange staff, struck with a heavy blow. A loud explosion sounded as dust filled the air, but An Tien Tien retreated to safety. Kuichak, having run out of ammunition, screamed and charged forward, using his gun as a blunt weapon while swinging wildly. Yue found herself surrounded by two figures, one large and one small. In an instant, one lunged with a shadowless kick, but Yue reacted in time, using the golden bell to summon Hegang Wang for defense. She shook a talisman and hurled it to strike the smaller assailant. Another group of corpse soldiers emerged and bound him tightly. Shi Baoqing respectfully answered, "Mother's words are absolutely right. I've kept them all in mind. To achieve greatness, one must learn to invest before reaping the rewards." The old woman nodded, adding coldly, "Then let me use my strength to help you bring everything to an end. The Golden Core cultivation method transmit no dharm." Before she could finish, she tapped her staff once, and an eerie, unsettling aura began to spread across the room. Ying Tian's group hadn't even had the chance to recover their energy, and now they were forced to witness this dark, demonic spectacle unfold before them. They immediately grew wary. Yue spoke up, "Tianshan, what's happening?" But seeing him remain silent, everyone could only observe cautiously. Then, the corpses of the Foundation establishment cultivators started to move once again, as if a mysterious force was being injected into their bodies. Yue sensed that the aura being released was far too powerful. In the next instant, the shadowy figures around them vanished completely. "So fast," she gasped, stunned by their speed. "Husband, be careful," she cried out as one of the dark figures rushed toward them. Ying Tian curved his lips into a faint smile, activating the 8 gates formation. In a flash, a dazzling golden light burst forth, wrapping the two of them completely. With one hand, he guided his energy flow, and with the other, he firmly held her by the waist. There was a heavy thud. The Foundation establishment warriors had all missed their attacks. Across from them, the old woman's face twisted in panic. Sweat poured down her forehead. "They still have a trump card," she muttered. Shi Baoqing was stunned. "How's that possible? Weren't they out of strength already? Their formation can attack using chi refinement, but also absorb and convert it for other uses." At that moment, the 8-gate spirit-gathering formation began drawing in the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. The old woman continued, "As our strength weakens, theirs grows. We can't hold on much longer." Old Shi growled, "Damn it, have we been fooled by them again?" "Have we been fooled by them again? When has the Shi family ever fallen into such a pathetic position?" Stop your whining," she snapped. "I'll hold them off. Use our ultimate technique. Wipe them out completely." "Doing that will alert the authorities, Mother," he warned. I don't care," she barked. "So what if it alerts them? Once we're done, we'll compensate them handsomely. Now hurry, send the signal." He quickly pulled out a device and shouted, "Coordinates locked. Fire immediately." Meanwhile, Ying Tian was still beating down the remaining enemies without pause. Yu Wei was busy as well, supporting her husband in the chaotic fight. In just a few moves, they had taken down most of the small fry. But then Yu Wei noticed something gleaming in the sky. Startled, she realized it wasn't a star, but a massive Dabio missile descending toward them. The entire sky dimmed as dozens of missiles rained down like falling comets. A gigantic mushroom cloud erupted, engulfing Tianxian and Yue's position in a devastating blast. From afar, laughter echoed. "Ha ha, you little brats, now you'll be nothing but dust and ashes." Suddenly, a call came in from the authorities. "Lao Ji, what's going on? You're making too much noise." Lao Shi chuckled nervously. Director Wang, nothing serious. Just clearing a barren lot my family owns on the outskirts. By the way, I recently got some wild ginseng from Chongbai Mountain Care to join me for tea sometime." On the other end, Director Wang laughed. "Sure, it's been a while since we've chatted, Lao Ji, but lately things have been quite noisy on your side. Be careful, or I won't be able to cover for you next time." "Understood, Director Wang," Lao Ji said calmly. "Go check things out over there." And so, the mother and son clasped hands and stepped into the rubble-strewn residential zone. Suddenly, 2 figures ambushed them. Within moments, Tian Shen and Yue counterattacked. The old man sneered, "You dare face a Jindan master with your mid-stage Mirjuji cultivation? You're far from your formation. Do you really think you can win?" Shiqing snorted, "Your ambush failed. This is your end. Prepare to die." Tian Shen shouted back, "Activate the magic artifact attack with everything we've got." Suddenly, beams of light burst from the attackers' abdomens. The old man's eyes widened in terror. How did this happen? What have you done? They unleashed a surge of internal power that scattered their enemies like leaves in the wind. Yue was amazed. This power, it just keeps flowing endlessly. Tianjian smirked. Thanks to your precious son, I got my hands on a top-grade earthly fire jade marrow. I used it to forge 2 spirit-nurturing gemstones. The energy inside them equals that of 2 peak Jindan cultivators. The old pair looked at each other in disbelief. What? 2 Jindans? Even the best key-gathering treasures today can't hold a fraction of that amount. The old man trembled, muttering, could it be an ancient spirit treasure? Tianshan replied, a battle of foundations is simple. The one with the greater power wins. Lucky for us, you created the perfect setup for that. The old man shook violently, as if about to ascend. How? How is this possible? Those were high explosive warheads. How did you survive? Tianshan smiled faintly. You're indeed cunning, careful, and calculating. The blast from your missiles equaled the combined force of 10 Jindan cultivators. If we'd faced that head-on, we really would have been ashes. Then why? Are you still alive? Tianxian stepped forward, hands in his pockets, chin tilted up with a calm yet commanding air. Your downfall is simple, he said coolly. You just didn't have as many trump cards as I did. He recalled what had happened moments before the impact. He had quickly activated the 8 Gates Formation's Life Gate, Chang Kun's small displacement technique. In an instant, the small chamber and their original location had completely vanished. Despite the land being scorched and torn apart, the two of them were quietly enjoying ice-black coffee somewhere far away. Returning to the present, he asked, why do you think I spent so much money buying this spiritually rich land? Because beneath it lies a network of natural caves, perfect for hiding. Seeing his hand approach with a dangerous glint in his eye, she frowned. What are you planning to do? His hand stopped in front of her chest. Her eyes widened as she looked down. With a sharp pew, she cried out in pain. At that instant, he used the Ascending Absorption Great Art to forcibly extract her essence pill from a distance. The old man coughed up several mouthfuls of blood. Shi Qing screamed, do you even realize what you've done? Killing fellow cultivators is a grave taboo. The Xuanzhen Management Bureau will come for you, and when they do, it won't just be our family you'll face. Suddenly, something shot through the air at high speed. Yue stepped forward and said calmly, Hubby asked me to come and collect yours. The old man struggled to endure it, but when he saw her dangerous smile, his face went pale with fear. Wait, his words were cut short by a pitiful scream that echoed across the sky. Wow, hubby, she said with a grin. This guy's energy is way richer than the last one. It still feels very potent, he explained calmly. At his current Foundation establishment peak, he should have already been able to break through into core formation, but looking closely, his Tao Foundation isn't stable enough. If he forces the breakthrough, his body will definitely explode from within and he'll die instantly, she asked softly. Then, what should we do with them? Lao Ji started panicking, his voice trembling. Why you? What are you planning? Killing people is still against the law. No matter how powerful you are, if the police notice, you'll be facing thousands of armed men. There's only one ending for you, death. Seeing this old man repeatedly threaten them by bringing up the government and the Xuanjian Management Bureau, he simply patted the old man's face lightly and said with a faint smile, recently, the members of my Tong family have worked tirelessly to earn merits. We spent all our savings just to help mortals like Shi Shang advance to Foundation establishment, and now he's finally about to form his core. So how could I ever repay kindness with vengeance? Go home, take good care of your wounds. Another day I'll personally visit to thank you properly. But when the mother and daughter looked at his expression, so calm yet filled with murderous intent, their faces turned as pale as a frog's belly. Without hesitation, they jumped into the car and sped off, terrified that the next victims might be them. The next morning, baby Huang Wang woke up after a peaceful night's sleep. Mommy, Daddy, you're awake. Come eat, she chirped. Then curiously asked, did you chase the bad guys away? He picked her up lovingly and replied, The little girl giggled, hugged him tight, and praised her dad for being so awesome. She even planted a small kiss on his cheek, saying it was Daddy's reward. Tianshan smiled and said, there's no greater reward in this world than that. Meanwhile, Yue was preparing breakfast, a small, happy family scene. Everyone enjoyed their meal together, laughing in comfort and peace. He and Xian smiled softly. 10,000 years of seeking the Tao, surviving countless deceptions and near deaths, and only now do I realize I never truly lived. He slurped his noodles with satisfaction and said cheerfully, the wife's cooking really hits the spot. Then added, next it's time to prepare for core formation. He continued, I plan to refine Shi Baoqing's Foundation Establishment Treasure Potion into a Corpse Refinement Foundation Elixir. She blinked in surprise. You mean that potion the old woman from the Ji family used on us? Tianxian nodded, explaining, the living corpse refinement their young master practiced can push the mortal body to its maximum potential. But that one's a low-level corpse refinement. The method used by the old woman of the Shi family to help mortals reach Foundation establishment was incomplete. It can make the corpse use spells and even retain the power it had in life, but it rots easily. The preservation period is short. It can't evolve any further. It's just a crude, half-finished corpse refinement technique. The one I'll use, though, he continued, is a supreme level method. It allows the corpse to continuously evolve, eventually reaching the stage of a netherworld corpse emperor. Hearing this, Yue Wei's eyes widened in shock. How do you immortals even know such horrifying sorcery? Tianxian froze for a moment, unsure how to answer, then smiled faintly. Sorcery itself isn't good or evil. Even immortals aren't saints, they're just mortals projecting their hopes onto gods and Buddhas. In ancient times, cultivators mastered both yin and yang arts. After slaying an enemy, they would refine the corpse into a powerful servant. The strongest among them could rival entire armies in strength. During the Battle of Zulul, the great god Qiyu refined his own brothers and descendants into 72 corpse emperors, causing the Yan and Yellow emperors to suffer devastating defeats. It wasn't until the Yellow emperor refined his own daughter into one of the 4 great zombie kings, the Crimson Landrout demon, that he finally managed to resist them. Hearing all this, Yue Wei's expression turned uneasy. Honey, after hearing what you said, I've got a really bad feeling, like something terrible's about to happen to this world. He held her hand and reassured her gently. You're right, something strange surrounds my descent this time. That's why we must grow stronger, fast. Thankfully, that troublesome Z family has unknowingly helped us. In just a few days, they turned the Ghost King sect's centuries-old inheritance into resources that aid our cultivation. Only by getting stronger quickly can we protect ourselves. Every conspiracy and scheme will crumble eventually, as long as we survive. Next, I'll help you form your core first. She looked at the small vial in his hand, dazed. So, do I just drink it directly? Then she suddenly blushed when Tianshan explained, this pill contains impurities. It's not a top-grade golden core. And since the meridian paths of this realm have lost the orthodox method, we'll need to refine it through dual cultivation to make it flawless. Her eyes lit up in excitement. Then let's do it, hubby. Which position this time? Realizing how bold she sounded, she immediately covered her mouth, embarrassed. But Tianshan just smiled and gently lifted her shirt, leaving her completely flustered. He took out a Foundation Establishment treasure elixir and said softly, I want to give you the best. Refining a flawless golden core will be painful. Seeing his care, Yue Wei smiled and replied warmly, with you here, I'm not afraid of anything. Let's begin. Then, as if swept by emotion, Tianshan suddenly leaned forward and kissed her deeply. Yue Wei's face turned crimson as she shyly turned away. Is this part of the process too? He chuckled. Sorry, I lost control of my emotions. Do you blame me? She was silent for a heartbeat, then leaned in and kissed him back. I don't know why, but it feels right. And just like that, they were feeding the world with their morning dose of affection. Tianxian thought to himself, this feeling, it's overwhelming, distracting, but so intoxicating. Even the nectar of the heavens or the peaches of immortality could never compare. Could this emotion itself hold the key to another breakthrough? After that fleeting thought, they locked eyes and smiled. I'm ready, she whispered. Let's begin. Tianxian gathered his energy and guided the Foundation Establishment elixir into her body. Instantly, her whole body convulsed in pain as her muscles tightened. Yue Wei bit her lip hard, forcing herself to endure it. Then her body slowly began to float upward. At that moment, even her figure seemed to transform, her chest expanding slightly as if blessed by cultivation itself. Only now did Tianxian realize that even forming a golden core had unexpected side benefits. The pain gradually faded, replaced by an incredibly light and blissful sensation. Tianshan approached and used his extremely yang energy to help stabilize the refinement. Hold on tight, he said. Now, I'll use a unique technique, one that can only be performed with a pure yang elixir to refine your golden core. Use the profound ice art I taught you. Freeze us both. She quickly chanted. Golden core realm, profound ice art. In an instant, a massive block of ice formed, sealing them both inside. Pure yang to the extreme, the initial stage of true fire. True fire refines impurities. The blazing flames begin melting the impurities away, turning the golden core into pure liquid essence. Yue Wei's entire body trembled uncontrollably, and at that precise moment, her golden core finally took shape. Cracks spread through the ice, and the block shattered into countless glittering fragments. She had entered the golden core realm at last. Tianxian asked gently, how do you feel? She gasped softly, I feel weightless. It's incredible. He smiled and explained, upon entering the golden core realm, your mana spreads through every cell of your body, repelling the particles of heaven and earth. That's why you feel so light. If you circulate it properly, you can even fly with a mortal body. Hearing that, she nodded eagerly and decided to give it a try. A sudden gust of spiritual wind surged around her. It lifted her higher and higher, and to her own amazement, Yue Wei realized she was truly flying beyond his reach. She let out an excited shout, her voice filled with pure joy. This is incredible, ha! I can actually fly now. Little Huang Huang came running after her, waving her tiny hands and shouting with amazement, wow, Mommy can fly. Mommy's a Tianjin. Huang Huang wants to fly too. But suddenly, with a faint poof, the spiritual energy surrounding her flickered and vanished completely. Her expression changed in an instant. Letting out a startled cry, she lost balance and began to fall freely through the air.